One down. High time. Wolves take the lead.
Good evening and welcome to Brazos Stadium on the campus of Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. Michael Potter and Aaron Gina with you as we get set for the Lopes and the Redhawks. GCU 22-21, 16-2, a top Phoenix, Arizona. Michael Potter and Aaron Gina with you as we get set for the Lopes and the Redhawks. GCU 22-21, 16-2, atop the Western Athletic Conference, hosting the Seattle University Redhawks 15-26-1 and 5-10. Hosting the Seattle University Redhawks 15-26-1 and 5-10 in conference play here from Brazos Stadium. Welcome to all you folks watching on GCU TV and all the folks watching on the WAC Digital Network. Taking a look here at Jake Wong. He gets the start for Grand Canyon. Wong having a spectacular sophomore campaign, a record of 5-2. This is his 12th start. A 2.42 ERA in 67 innings, 50 hits, 24 runs, 18 earned. He walked 18 and struck out 46. Oppositioning 209 off Jake Wong. He's got a great defense behind him, probably the best outfield defense that the Lopes can throw to. This is his 12th start. A 2.42 ERA in 67 innings, 50 hits, 24 runs, 18 earned. He walked 18 and struck out 46. Oppositioning 209 off Jake Wong. He's got a great defense behind him, probably the best outfield defense that the Lopes can throw out there. We'll take a look at it right now. Tom LaRouge in left, Preston Pavlica in center, Garrison Schwartz in right. Ty White gets to start at third base. No stranger to moving around. Number 5 playing the number 5 position. Mark Mumper at short. Austin Bull at second. Ian Evans at first. Josh Meyer behind the plate to catch Jake Wong. And we'll run through the batting order here for the Redhawks quickly. Griffin Anderchuk will lead things off for the Redhawks. Curtis Perrin bats second. Austin Lively bats third. Aaron Struzma is the cleanup man. Dalton Hurd bats 5th. Chase Wells hitting 6th. Sean Sutton bats 7th. Jeffrey Morgan in right field bats 8th. And Kyler Murphy, in the catcher, bats 9th. So Wong getting ready to go here. The Lopes atop the conference coming off that 3-game sweep in Las Cruces. And Aaron, the Lopes struggled against Kansas that Tuesday, Wednesday, but boy, they got it all together and just dominated down there in Las Cruces and now lead the WAC by a nice margin, 3.5 games.
That's right. They really bounced back there and had a 16-2 conference lead. It's really comfortable to hopefully get a clinch after this weekend.
Yeah, it's very possible. Any combination of 5 wins and losses between the Lopes and New Mexico State could clinch the conference right here to be their second regular season conference in 4 years since going back to Division I. And we are underway. First pitch in there for a strike. John Bullock behind home plate, Jeffrey Maxey at first, and Ruben Candelaria at third base. Those are your umpires. Anderchuk comes in, 275 batter, 2 homers, 18 RBI. Griffin, the shortstop, and the senior, the leader on this squad, has been scuffling a bit and grounds one to short. Easy play for Mumper, slings it across, and the stretch and the out is made. Well, I almost jinxed him with that easy play, but 6-3 on the putout. One shortstop retires another, and Wong off to a nice start. Anderchuk trying to become the top hitter in Redhawks history. He's 5 shy of the record for most hits in a career. He could break that here, but grounds out as we get underway. Curtis Perrin, the junior left-handed hitting second baseman, pitched by Wong in there for a strike. Well, we talked to Coach Stankiewicz, and he says everything starts on the mound. And the Lopes, it took them 10 innings to get the winning game 1 at Las Cruces, but then Jake Repovich and Jack Schneider just pitched gems, 1-1 the count in games 2 and 3. And really, New Mexico State, not much of a match for GCU, which was surprising because New Mexico State had probably been the hotter team coming into that tournament, or that 3-game series.
Right, and New Mexico's in second place currently in the WAC. Actually, I think they're tied. No, they do have second place. So for the Lopes to go in there and hold a sweep really shows that they are on top of the WAC division.
The 2-1. And now Wong trying to find some of the strike zone. And it's difficult here early. I don't remember seeing these 3 umpires this year, Bullock, Maxey, and Candelaria. And so it's always interesting as the pitchers try to figure out what the strike zone is going to be. So it was kind of surprising Anderchuk swung at that second pitch he saw. 3-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss going for the downs on that one. Count goes full 3-2. you'll see a stark difference in the leadoff batter for the Lopes. Austin Bull takes a lot of pitches, doesn't mind seeing a lot of pitches from the starting pitcher in his first at bat. Perrin hitting 280 on the season, and he walks it. Well, that pitch was definitely outside. It was 2 pitches ago that looked like a strike the way they'd been being called that Jake Wong wanted and didn't get. But now, first runner aboard, so that's Perrin down there, and he is 4 for 4 in stolen bases. We'll see if Seattle wants to run early here. But Austin Lively, the left-handed hitting freshman third baseman, Lively hitting .353 and 1 homer, 26 RBI. So Lively having a very nice season here for Seattle. A righty-lefty matchup, and the first pitch misses. So it looked like Jake Wong was going right after the batters. Now he's starting to try to nibble a bit there and pitching behind the Red Hawk hitters.
It's going to take a while for Wong to find his rhythm and kind of learn the umpire and learn the strike zone. But coming into the second,
job as a Friday night guy, throw over and Perrin back. Man, the Lopes came into this season knowing that Jake Wong was going to be one of their top 3 starters. They had a pretty good feeling. They knew Jake Repovich would be there. They thought Degenhart would probably be one of those guys. They moved him around, and Jake Wong quickly asserted that he was the Friday night guy. 2-0.
Lively hailing from Redmond, Washington.
Yeah, this Seattle University Red Hawk squad, Donnie Harrell in his 8th year. Good consistency up there. And Harrell recruits from all over the place, but you will see a good number of Pacific Northwest kids on the roster. Throw over. Runner gets back. Harrell and his squad were picked by the coaches to win the WAC in the preseason. And boy, things have gone from bad to worse. Getting some bad news about Tarek Skubal, and then having their next best pitcher, that one in there for a strike, Nick Meservy, go down. Both of those guys undergoing Tommy John surgery. Skubal last year hasn't recovered, and Meservy going down under the Tommy John surgery earlier this year. So you lose your Friday night and your Saturday night guy, both guys who were probably going to get drafted after this year. You lose both those guys. It's hard to come back from.
Yeah, Meservy threw 14 innings this season before undergoing the surgery, and actually was the WAC pitcher of the year last year.
Chopped foul. Ooh, that was close. 2-2. Yeah, that's a great point, Aaron. He was both those guys were just nasty. And that's really, I think, why they've assumed that Seattle would win. I mean, obviously, preseason polls are what they are, right? But
right.
They were picked, and right now they're on the outside looking in of a playoff spot. The top 6 teams make the WAC tournament. The winner of the tournament gets an automatic bid into the playoffs. Right now, Seattle and Northern Colorado on the outside looking in. 2-2 pitch. Perrin, see if he goes here. He's not. So now, second full count in a row. Wong trying to get a ground ball here. Maybe the Lopes can turn 2 and get out of it. We've seen that quite a bit. Their defense has been stellar. We've seen multiple inning-ending double plays, especially here at Brazel. But to finish that point in the WAC, it'll really be the 7th place team will make the playoffs because the Lopes ineligible to play again. This is their final season. There goes the runner. Got a great jump. In the air, though. Pavlica should be able to make the play, and he does. So Jake Wong goes full count to the last 2. He walks Perrin. He gets Lively to fly out to center. That'll bring up Aaron Struzman. Struzman, the redshirt senior, transferred over from Liberty after graduation, had a year left of eligibility, and .311, 5 homers, and 30 RBI. So you look down this lineup, and you kind of wonder why these guys are struggling to have a 5-10 record hitting-wise, but it's really been their pitching. After losing their top 2 pitchers, they've struggled on the mound, and it really lost a lot of that depth in the pitching, so their middle relief and their closers haven't been too great this year for Seattle. Squares to bunt. Ball misses, ball 1. I'm a little surprised, other than you've got a guy with home run power up there now, leads the team with 5 homers. You might not run out of an inning here, but boy, Perrin got a fantastic jump on that 3-2 pitch. He would have stole that thing easily had it not been a flyout.
He did. He had a little trouble getting back. Pavlica threw the ball to first, and Perrin barely made it there.
Throw over and back. Yeah, these outfielders do not mind trying to throw behind the runner. We saw Garrison Schwartz throw to first quite a bit on fly balls when the runners get off, or had him throw out a man trying to score against Kansas. In talking to Coach Stankiewicz prior to the game, this is the best outfield from a speed standpoint. He's not afraid to put Ty Wyatt out there in left either, but when you've got LaRouge in left, Pavlik in center, and Gary Schwartz in right, be hard-pressed to find a better outfield in all the WAC conference.
Right, a lot of flexibility there. Really gives the coach some confidence.
Perrin goes, got another good jump. Myers throw, on the money, but Bull couldn't handle it. Gets under his glove and into center field. Boy, Perrin got a fantastic jump, but that throw was right there. I think they would have had him if the Bull had to come up with it. So you got the stolen base, and then the air gets him down to third. Yeah, and that's too bad. That's where, as a catcher, you really want your second baseman to bail you out on that one. Plus, it got past Mumper, who wasn't doing a great job backing that up. So now you got the possible first run of the ball game down at third, and a 1-1 count to your cleanup man.
Right, usually you get a higher throw from the catcher, but it's usually not the catcher's bidding that the throw doesn't get there.
Fouled off. Count goes 1-2. Yeah, just watching it, the throw was low. It almost looked like Bull thought that ball was going to come up, and when it hit, it just kind of stayed down. Went right under his glove. I think if the throw had been up about maybe another foot, or if he could have gloved it on the bounce, I think they might have had him because the throw was right on the right side of the bag. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. There you go, Jake. So Wong gets the first man to ground out, walks the next, and pitches around that walk, the stolen base, and the air, gets his first strikeout of the ball game. So we go to the bottom of the first for Seattle. No runs, no hits, no air, or one air, and one man left on base. No score as we go to the bottom of the first.
All right, Lopes fans, get the best gear to show off your Lope pride. Go to lopeshops.gcu.edu to find everything GCU, from the newest apparel to the coolest accessories. Use promo code GCUTV20 to get 20% off for being a GCU TV viewer. Let's paint the Valley purple. Lopes up.
Well, let's take a look at the Lopes batting lineup here. Just a couple of changes that you might notice, but not really nothing at the top. Austin Bull's going to lead things off for GCU, the switch-hitting sophomore second baseman. Tom LaRouge in left field had been the DH. He bats second. Ian Evans, who had a fantastic weekend down in Las Cruces and is the WAC hitter of the week, plays first and bats third. Garrison Schwartz, the hitter of the week before, plays right field and bats fourth. Preston Pavlik in center bats fifth. Greg Sines gets a chance at the DH with a lefty on the bump. He'll bat sixth. Ty Wyatt moves in from left field, stays on the left side, but moves into third base and bats seventh. Josh Meyer behind the plate. And Mark Mumper, your shortstop, bats ninth. So Bull, LaRouge, Evans, Schwartz, Pavlik, Sines, Wyatt, Meyer, and Mumper. Taking a look at Seattle's starter for the Redhawks, it'll be Jake Przina. Przina, 3.98 ERA, a record of 4-2. This will be his 12th start. He does have 3 appearances out of the bullpen. In 74 2/3, Przina, 73 hits, 37 runs, 33 earned runs. He's walked 24 and struck out 50, opposition hitting .251 against Jake Przina. And, Aaron, we talked about at the top of the broadcast, Przina really was going to be a mid-relief guy, possibly a mid-week starter. He's pushed into the Friday night role with those injuries, and he's pitched pretty well. I mean, a 3.98 ERA and a record of 4-2, not bad. But they really were hoping they wouldn't have to use him on Friday nights. Przina, the sophomore out of Sparks, Nevada, and he'll face Austin Bull. Bull's been a fantastic leadoff man for the Lopes. Swears to bunt. Ball one on the outside. Bull 341, no homers, 11 RBI.
Just to add to the 16-2 record for the Lopes, they're also 9-0 at home, so they really have some home field advantage. I don't know if it's the Phoenix weather, especially as we're entering the summer months, or what, but that 9-0 home play is really working for them.
That home cooking, right?
That's
you
right.
sleep in your own bed. If you live in town, mom makes you a meal every now and again. Kind of nice, but you're right, man. They have been great at home in conference play, the 2-0. In there for a strike, so that one looked a little high. It looks like Bullock likes that high fastball. 2-1 the count. Yeah, they swept Bakersfield, then they swept Northern Colorado, then they came back home and swept UTRGV. 2 walk-offs to get that sweep on Saturday and Sunday. Little squibber. Foul. That was an exciting series. Won the last 2 games in 10 innings in walk-offs. And then they swept at New Mexico State. So 4 sweeps in conference play, and that'll get you to a 16-2 record. Right now, the Lopes, 3.5 games up on New Mexico State, who is just drubbing Utah Valley in their game in Orem, Utah. Then Bakersfield's behind them at 3rd in the conference. Little chopper left side. Lively throw, shows off the arm in time to get bowled, and the leadoff man is retired for GCU. 5-3 on the putout. Utah Valley right now in 4th place in the conference. Chicago State surprising everyone in 5th place. Sac State in 6th, UTRGV in 7th, and then Northern Colorado and Seattle tied in that bottom spot. But Northern Colorado owns the tiebreaker, winning that series. Tom LaRouge at the plate. Big swing and a miss. Tom LaRouche hitting .336, 1 homer, 21 RBI on the season. Well, Utah Valley on the board now in the bottom of the 5th in Orem against New Mexico State as that one sails high. It is now 17-1 New Mexico State over Utah Valley in the bottom of the 5th. Don't call it a comeback, but they've got a long way to come back. The 1-1 to Tom. Inside, 2-1. Tom's folks coming out from Yucaipa, California for the games. His mom told me she's not real happy about the weather coming out here from Yucaipa. They got snow in Big Bear. It's all nice in California. It's 108, 110 today?
That's right, yeah.
In the air to left center. Coming over on the dive.
There's an exciting new destination for food, fun, and relaxation in the heart of Phoenix.
So the dive and the catch by Hurd, and LaRouge retired.
We were talking about the Lopes outfield speed, but Hurd showing off that Seattle U has got some speed as well.
Yeah, Dalton has played very well against the Lopes, typically hitting-wise. What a great break on that ball in the dive, and that'll bring up Ian Evans. Evans, as we mentioned, had a phenomenal 3 games in Las Cruces. Fouls that one back. He's been the power guy for the Lopes throughout the season, and now he sits at .333 on the year, 4 homers and 34 RBI. He trails Gary Schwartz by 1 homer and by 5 RBI. But what a phenomenal weekend he had, and he is the WAC hitter of the week. Up high, 1-1. Evans' series against New Mexico State hit .692, went 9 for 13, scored 4 runs, had 2 doubles, 2 homers, and 6 RBI, slugged .1308. Just blasted the Las Cruces pitching. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Evans. And Evans was huge for the Lopes to get him this year, coming over from junior college. And Gateway, I mean, they played in the Junior College World Series last year, but Evans coming over locked down that first base position and allowed Zach Malice to move over to third. Malice not playing tonight because Wyatt's playing, but Evans has been huge in the heart of that order for the Lopes this season.
Yeah, he's doing a good job staying alive and getting some foul tips here.
2 quick outs for Prezina. One of them a great diving play by Dalton Hurd, the center fielder. 2-2. But New Mexico State not the only team playing tonight in the WAC other than Lopes. They're up 17-1 in the top of the 6th. Chicago State has already won. They beat Sac State 6-2. Fouled off. And Bakersfield all over Northern Colorado in Bakersfield, 5-0. So it looks like the top of the conference outside of what the Lopes do here is going to stay with New Mexico State and Bakersfield picking up wins, but Chicago State will inch ever closer to Utah Valley in that number 4 hole, which would be the number 3 seed in the tournament, the 2-2. Big swing and a miss, chased 1, strike 3. So both starters get a swing and strike to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and a great play by the center fielder Dalton Hurd. We're through 1, no score here at Brazel. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV and the WAC Digital Network.
Time. You always take the time for ballet class and doctor's appointments, for school meetings and school drop-offs, late nights, early mornings. You wouldn't have it any other way. Bad dreams and good days. Big chapters and little moments. But as they grow, you can too. There's never been a better time to create a better future. GCU's online degree program puts you first, so you can make the most of your time. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
Look in the dugout at the best team in the Western Athletic Conference as we go to the top of the second inning here at Brazel. No score. And Jake Wong will face Dalton Hurd, Chase Wells, and Sean Sutton. 5, 6, and 7 for Seattle. Lopes looking to win their second WAC title, regular season title, in 4 seasons. They're kind of the reverse of the San Francisco Giants. The Lopes looking to win it in 2017. They won it in 2015. And in 2013, when they were in Division II, they won their conference and went to the College World Series. So, first pitch in their first strike, Andy Stankiewicz has his team rolling in those odd-numbered years. But as Coach said before the game, still a long way to go. Got this series and a series with Utah Valley. In there for a strike.
Wong pumping some strikes in.
Now, you called it. You said he might settle down here. And, boy, so far in the second inning, he's finding the zone and just pounding it with the fastballs.
Well, we'll see. We'll see after this third pitch here. Don't get me too soon. For all we know, it's gonna be a home run right here.
Hurd hitting .288, 4 homers, 22 RBI. Ground ball to short, same way the top of the first started. Sidearm sling by Mumper. 6-3 once again. 1 up, 1 down. That'll bring up Chase Wells, the DH. Wells hitting .283 on the year for the Redhawks. No homers, 11 RBI. Well, this WAC tournament, Lopes, last year they can't play in it, but it's held in Mesa, Arizona at Hohokam Stadium, May 24th through the 27th, and if they need to, they'll play on the 28th. That one ripped into right field. Got under it a bit, but able to get it past the second baseman Bull for the first base hit of the ballgame. Second runner of the game for Seattle. Looked initially like Chase Wells got all of that one, but actually kind of got it off the fist, but got it through the right side. So second runner in the inning aboard once again, and that'll bring up Sean Sutton. Wells, no stolen base attempts on the season. Now Sutton just hitting .201 with a homer and 18 RBI, but was a huge part of the success this team's had over the years. They're just waiting for him to break out of it. Missed outside, ball 1. If the season were to end today, New Mexico State would be the number 1 seed, Bakersfield the 2. Sac State would play Chicago State in the first game, with Chicago State as the 4 seed and Sac State as a 5 seed. The second game of the tournament, as that one's fouled off, would be the number 3 seed Utah Valley against the number 6 seed UTRGV, and that would leave Northern Colorado and Seattle out of the mix in the tournament. Well, Seattle just trying to get themselves back into this one, but they've got a tough row to hoe of it. They take on the Lopes here. Chop to second. They go back to second, back to first, not going to be in time. So they were able to get the lead runner, even with that high chopper. They cut down Wells, but Sutton's aboard with the fielder's choice, and there's 2 outs. Wasn't sure at first in the high hopper Bull would be able to go there, but boy, he quickly pivoted and fired to Mumper. You watch it off the bat here, and that thing, just right in front of the plate, just pounded it into the dirt. Sutton on his horse, not wanting to get doubled up to end the inning. Jeffrey Morgan, 204 on the year, 1 homer, 17 RBI. At the plate with 2 outs. First pitch in there for a strike. Well, the Lopes, of course, going with Jake Wong, Jake Repovich, and then Jack Schneider in this series. Schneider, the freshman from Gilbert's, been the revelation. A record of 4-0 and a 4.28 ERA. Really locked down that Sunday starter slot. Up high.
Yeah, Jake's just one of 77 qualifying pitchers in Division I with an ERA of 2.45 or less. So that's pretty good for the Lopes bringing into tonight and about to conclude the season.
Yeah, Wong has really put himself on the map in a lot of the scouts' eyes as well. Big kid, 6'2", 185, just a sophomore, so he'll be back next year, but you can definitely guarantee the 1-1 pitch, chop foul. You can guarantee that there are going to be a lot of scouts out on Friday nights to watch this young man pitch. And, of course, depending on where he goes for the summer, they'll take a look at him up there too. But everybody high on Jake Wong out of Hamilton High School. And Jake going to be playing up in the Cape Cod League. That's where typically the best of the best go, arguably, and probably not even arguably, the best summer league to play in. So Jake getting the invite up there, and he'll get to go against a lot of Power 5 guys. A lot of guys are going to be up high on the MLB scouting charts. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no score. DeMorgan fouled back, and the runner was going on that 2-2 pitch. Well, Sutton yet to attempt a stolen base this year. Trying to go there with the 2 strikes. Yeah, Jake threw 6 innings at New Mexico State. Didn't factor in the decision, but pitched around quite a few errors, which was odd for the defense. The defense had been playing well, but that Friday night it was really difficult for the Lopes. Made some errors, and their hitting bailed them out. But Jake went 6 innings in that one, gave up 7 hits and 4 runs. Only one of those runs was earned, though. Swing and a miss. Struck him out to end the inning for the second inning in a row. Wong strikes out a batter with a man on base. So we have completed 1.5. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and a man left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. Lopes coming up.
In other sports news, Vinnie Murphy was named Western Athletic Conference Player of the Year for men's golf. Murphy led the conference in stroke average and won the individual title at WAC Championships last weekend. Congratulations to men's golf, and congratulations to Vinnie Murphy.
So Lopes picking up some hardware everywhere, not to mention, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but winning championships, the second championship in the WAC for softball. Lopes trying to get there. Second championship. We go to the bottom of the second. No score here at Brazel. Garrison Schwartz, Preston Pavlica, Greg Sines, 4, 5, and 6. And Prezina didn't really have much trouble. Got a ground out and then a fly out. Wasn't hit hard, but Dalton Hurd had to make a great play in center field. And then Evans, a 2-2 pitch, a high fastball, and he struck him out. So,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Lopes get on base here, bottom of the second.
Calling your shot, huh? Scoring a run or just getting on base?
Scoring a run.
Okay, here we go. We're going to score some runs here off Prezina. I like it. So far, I'm getting the summer leagues from these. Are all the kids going? Is there going to be more coming up, or Josh Hauser giving me the numbers here? What's this one? Oh, really? Is this what I thought it would be? The West Coast League out of Washington got a couple guys going there. Garrison Schwartz really coming alive in conference play. Gary on the season, hitting .284, 5 homers, 39 RBI. You know, we talked about it. He scuffled a bit in the non-conference. He was the preseason WAC Player of the Year, up high 2-0. But, man, he has come alive in conference play. Garrison Schwartz hitting .344 with 2 homers and 24 RBI in the conference. That one's in there for a strike. So it does look like John Bullock likes that high fastball. 2-1. Now Prezina wanting him to go through the signs one more time. Now we're ready. The 2-1. 3-1, so good hitters count here. Przina's going to have to come to him. Doesn't want to put him on with Pavlica on deck. Gary, despite the batting average being low in the non-conference play, as he walks here to lead off the second, Gary has led the Lopes in RBI, driving in runs throughout the entire season. So he's been productive, even when he hasn't been getting a lot of base hits. Pavlica at the plate now. Preston, 279 on the year. 2 homers, 9 RBI, but Preston missed 27 ball games after breaking his wrist catching a fly ball in dead center field up at St. Mary's. Przina checking the runner. Doubt Gary's going to be going. Dives back safely. Although Garrison Schwartz has attempted 6, he's been safe half the time. Outside corner for a strike. Took something off of that one and painted it. 0-1 to Pavlica.
Pavlica was named WAC Hitter of the Week March 1st through 6th.
Yeah, and then shortly thereafter got that injury. It was tough to be 27 games without this guy to throw over. Almost handcuffed the first baseman. Sutton able to handle it. Gives them a lot of depth. We talked to Coach Stankiewicz. I mean, Kona Quiggle played some. Quinn Cotton played some out there and left. Wyatt went out there and left. LaRouge played some center field. But, man, having Pavlica back in the middle of that lineup with his athleticism has been a huge boost for the Lopes into conference play. Well, Przina's really worried about Garrison Schwartz here. So far, your first prediction, Aaron, correct. That the Lopes would get somebody on.
That's right.
I pushed you, and you went and said you think they're going to score a run here, so we'll see.
I don't know if you pushed me. I think I was just slowing my pace
I
down.
didn't goad you
my
into
meditation.
it? Okay. You were being thoughtful.
Thoughtful. There you go.
The 0-1. Too far outside, 1-1. Yeah, I was up at March 3rd at St. Mary's. It was the Friday night, the opener. He injured his right wrist. It was a phenomenal catch. The folks who saw it, a lot of folks, even some professional scouts, said it was the best catch they've ever seen. In the air. Morgan settles under it and makes the grab, and that is the first out of the inning. They bring up Signs, a DH. Greggy Signs in 295, 2 homers, and 7 RBI. Signs has just had trouble getting on the field. He started 19 games and played in 28, but just hasn't found a position. They tried to get him into second base early in the year, but once they put Mumper in at short and moved Bull back to second, there was really no room for Greg, especially the way Evans has been playing there at first. So been relegated to pinch hitting and DHing for the most part. Got good power, good pop in his bat. Little fake as runner gets back easily. Well, the Lopes, a 115 RPI, the best RPI in the WAC. The throw over there. Garrison only a couple steps off. New Mexico State at a 120 RPI. But you look down the teams that the Lopes have played in their non-conference slate. I mean, Oklahoma State, a 51 RPI. St. Mary's, a 72 RPI. Long Beach State, a 23 RPI. Kansas, 59. New Mexico, 39. Arizona, 13. Arkansas, 16. Just a tough slate. Foul. Signs taking everybody by surprise, trying to drop one down there. 0-1 to count. But it's been a murderer's row for GCU. At one point, their strength of schedule was 12th in the nation at the end of March. They're currently 83 in the nation in non-conference scheduling. But you look at that, that's some good teams there. Oklahoma State, St. Mary's, Long Beach State, Arizona, Arkansas. Long Beach State right now, I believe 11 in the country or 12 in the country. Arizona right behind them. Arkansas is in the top 15 as well. The 0-1. Tried to check his swing, but did not. So Signs down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Ty Wyatt on deck. No score here, bottom of the second. Beautiful night at Brazel. It was a bit toasty today, but once the sun went down, it's been really nice. Fouled back. Is it okay to say 108, 110 is a bit toasty?
I was thinking toasty. Toasty's pretty good. You walk out of your car and you wish that you would stay back in your car for a little bit longer.
Feels like a toaster oven, right?
Yeah.
But you're from back in Michigan, not the humidity, though.
No, there's humidity in Michigan.
Yeah, but here, not the humidity you get back there.
It's definitely a different type of heat, but heat is heat, so.
Check of the runner. A long time. The 0-2 up high, 1-2. Well, the Lopes definitely making Prezina take his time, struggling with it a bit here, but 1 out, man on first. 99 degrees right now, and it's going to be about 95 tomorrow night, that ball game. Going to be a TV broadcast, and then Sunday it's supposed to drop down to 71.
71.
Throw over and the runner back. Yeah, I know they're having some storms out in Southern California, and they've got like 6 inches of snow in Big Bear, so maybe that's blowing in. Tomorrow night's ball game at 7 p.m. It's going to be on CW6. Barry Butel with the call, joined by Shea Hillenbrand. In the box here, okay, Longworth will be down on the field. Boy, Prezina very worried about Garrison Schwartz over there at first base. The 1-2 outside, 2-2. And sometimes when you have so much emphasis on the guy on base, you forget about the batter.
Right, you start to lose your momentum.
The 2-2. Popped it. Sutton coming over. It's going to be a tough play, and that one gets out of play. Good amount of room down there in foul territory behind first base. We actually have seen some. We saw a phenomenal catch in the UTRGV series down there by Victor Garcia Jr. crashing into the wall by the bullpen and holding on to it. It ended up being a sac fly because the runner at third alertly came home. But so there's good room down there. That one just got out, and Sutton couldn't track it. Ran out of room. 2-2. Sign stays alive. Gary down there on first. He walked to lead off the inning. That one in the air to right center field. That might get down. If it gets to the wall, Gary might score. Cut off by Hurd. Signs is going to go for second. Nobody there. And it's a double. Runners at second and third with 1 out.
Yeah, really great hit by Signs there into right center. Moving Gary to third base now. GCU is in scoring position with still 0 outs on the board. No, 1 out on the board.
Yeah,
still.
just the 1 out, the fly out by Pavlica. But now Wyatt, chance a base hit, could plate a couple here and give the Lopes the early lead. That was a good at-bat by Signs. Boy, he just stayed with it, fouled that one off that was low in the zone, and comes right back, goes with the pitch. Man, if Hurd didn't cut that off, Gary would have scored, and Signs would have been standing on third. Yeah, Gary, he wanted to score. Look at him. He got the stop sign and barely able to hold up. So Wyatt at the plate. Wyatt hitting .306, the right-handed hitting sophomore. 1 homer, 15 RBI, and I can't really call him. I mean, he's the third baseman tonight, but he's played the infield, the outfield, has been on the pitcher's mound. In his first 2 seasons here at GCU, that pitch a strike. Wyatt last year played every infield position but catcher, and he pitched. This year he's played left field and most infield positions. It's his 7th start at third base. Missed inside, 1-1. You know, before the game, I was talking to Coach Stankiewicz, and I said, no, I know you don't care about this, Coach, but is there any way you can get Wyatt in center field, right field, and to catch at some point before he graduates or gets drafted? Because then he would have played every position.
Right, and he was a football player in high school, so he's got a lot of flexibility in the sports realm.
Yeah, great athlete. Hits that one, got under it a bit too much. Hurd going back. Gary should score on this one. Catch is made. Throw's going to go to third, so Schwartz comes in to score. Signs is going to stay at second. The sac fly makes it a 1-0 ball game. So Wyatt gets the job done, and the Lopes are on the board.
There you go. There's your run that you asked me for.
Man, I got to ask you more often. You thought about it? You weren't sure? You called it? Boom. You said run, right? Not runs?
I said run. I said
Okay.
run.
But we got the one right there, the sac fly to center field. The walk comes in to score, and it's 1-0 GCU. With 2 outs, it'll be Josh Meyer at the plate. Boy, those walks always seem to come in to score, and it does there for the Lopes. Meyer recovering from Tommy John surgery, still wears that sleeve over the right arm and elbow. Hitting .258, no homers and 12 RBI. This is his 20th game and 19th start of the year. Josh, a great football player in Southern California, was a quarterback in his own right. He's got a brother playing at Cal Poly. They're in a big series here at Long Beach State, maybe? Look that up, Josh. Nick Meyer. Long Beach State? Did I nail it? Long Beach State's up 3-0. But Long Beach State, they have them as number 10 in the country. I mean, they're 10, 11, right around there. It's a good ball club. Cal Poly in a fight trying to win that conference, but up against one of the top teams in the country. Talking to Josh's dad, came out here, brought the dog, a beautiful chocolate lab. A very docile creature. Very different than my yellow lab. 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Well, another man in scoring position. Lopes want to get greedy here and try to get another run on the board with 2 outs. The 2-0. Fouled off, 2-1. Josh out of Mission Viejo, California, Santa Margarita High. His freshman year in 2014 at .276 with a homer and 25 RBI in 33 games. The 2-1. Big lead by Signs, getting further and further off the bag. 3-1. In 2015, started 19 games to Josh and appeared in 31, but had that injury and lost all of 2016 to a redshirt year recovering. And talking to his dad, he's feeling really good for the first time in a long time, getting a lot of playing time here. Big swing and a miss there, an off-speed pitch. That was a beauty from Prezina. Count goes full, 3-2. You know, until this year, Josh's last game had been March 3rd, or excuse me, May 3rd, 2015, and he got to play, got to start February 19th, but long layoff for Josh.
Yeah, campus was practically a different place back in 2015.
It looked very different. Strike 3, both pitchers with 2 strikeouts apiece. Both pitchers getting strikeouts to end each inning, but the Lopes get a walk and a sac fly. After a double by Signs, Schwartz comes in to score on the sac fly by Wyatt. So 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and a man left on base. We've completed 2, 1-0 GCU. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV and the WAC Digital Network.
Founded on the belief that the entrepreneurial dream is an engine that drives innovation forward in a global marketplace, the Colangelo College of Business educates and develops values-driven business leaders. Our graduates exemplify the principles of servant leadership and entrepreneurship. GCU's strong Christian identity informs the education you receive, integrating our Christian values with the business curriculum. The college features more than 25 programs from the bachelor through the master's level, catering to traditional, evening, and online students. These programs serve a diverse set of aspiring business professionals who not only learn in the classroom, but gain real-world experience operating actual businesses. Our students also receive unique access to Jerry Colangelo's legendary experience, leadership, and connections throughout the business world. Find out more at gcu.edu/business.
Lopes get a leadoff walk by Garrison Schwartz in the second. A double moves him to third. That double by Signs. And then the sac fly to center. 1-0 GCU. As we go to the third, Kyler Murphy, then the top of the order, Andrewchuk and Perrin due up against Jake Wong. So the Lopes strike first here A lot of fans enjoying the ball game from the Halo parking garage over the right field wall there. And there for a strike. So Jake, after dabbling a bit in that first inning, boy, in the second inning, we saw him peppering the strike zone on those. There's those fans out there. They got the pom-poms out there and everything. Or is that a blanket? I think it's a blanket. Strike 2.
Yeah, Jake seems a lot more comfortable on the hill now compared to the first inning. Not that he looked bad, but I think now he's just really found his stroke and he's delivering some nice strikes in the zone.
The 0-2 to Murphy. Kyler Murphy, the sophomore catcher, up high. Murphy hitting .197 on the year, 1 homer and 5 RBI. Well, we're used to seeing those fans out there catching the ball game from the parking garage over right field. The 1-2 outside 2-2. A lot of times in the night games, you'll see him up on the top there. But definitely during the day games, they've got the shade of the parking structure down on the 4th or 3rd level. The 2-2, Jake working very quickly. 3-2. Well, praised him too early about finding the pepper in the strike zone.
That's right.
Murphy trying to get aboard. The leadoff man has not reached for Seattle through the first 2 innings. Both leadoff men in each inning have ground out to Mumper at short. 3-2. He walked him. Well, after getting up 0-2, 4 straight balls, and they were not even close. So Murphy reaches, that'll bring up Griffin Anderchuk, the tying run aboard here, just in the 3rd inning. Murphy 3 for 5 in stolen bases. So he is a threat to run, even though he's the number 9 hole guy and a catcher. Takes his lead. Anderchuk at the plate, ground out to short in his first at bat. Throw over. Murphy back. Anderchuk 5 hits out of first place for the career mark in base hits in Seattle U history. Didn't get it his first time up. He's hoping he can do it here in this series. First pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. He has 203 hits. Wow. Just 9 shy. Throw over. It's back. Well, New Mexico State padding their lead, up 24-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Ooh, almost hit him on the knees. So, New Mexico State, what would that be? 3 touchdowns and a field goal against Utah Valley? I'm not sure how Utah Valley got the 1, but half a safety? Is that what they got in the 1-1? The count. To right. Schwartz going back. The ball's carrying. Might get over his head. It does. Murphy on his horse. Going to head to third. So the walk and the doubles, very similar to what the Lopes did in the bottom of the 2nd inning. But now nobody out. 2 runners in scoring position. Anderchuk climbs ever closer to the career mark for base hits in Seattle U history. So he came in needing 9, it says here, and so now he's 8 shy of the program record. Oh, he just hit that one, and the wind's blowing out that direction. He hit it well. Don't think Gary would have tracked it down, but with that wind, that breeze blowing, not even a chance. So now Murphy down at third base, in the heart of the order coming up, Curtis Perrin. He walked, stole a base, got to third on an error, but was stranded there in the 1st inning. So now not only a golden opportunity for Seattle to score a run and tie it up, a great opportunity to take the lead here. So Perrin, 280 on the season, 4 homers, 16 RBI. Great opportunity here. Where's the bunt? Safety squeeze there, just doing it on his own. The runner not going anywhere. But the pitch misses 2-0. And for whatever reason, Jake now having some trouble finding the strike zone. Jake's got the sign ready to go. The 2-0 on the corner, 2-1. Well, Jake, as I mentioned, went 6 innings his last start. Didn't get the win. The Lopes won that ball game in 10, but only 1 earned run given up. Scuffled a bit his 2 starts prior to that. Got the win against UTRGV, but gave up 3 runs in 5 2/3, and then gave up 6 runs in just 3 innings at Chicago State. Bunting again, strike again. Not sure why Perrin's monkeying around with the bunting there. Try to hit one to the right side, and the run would score. The Lopes not playing in. Unless he hits a bullet right at somebody, there's no way they're coming home. Would imagine that Murphy's going on contact on a ground ball to the right side. The 2-2. Ooh, right up the box. Almost took the glove off of Wong. They're going to try to score Anderchuk. The throw is not going to be in time. The throw back down to second. Not in time there. Almost came off the bag. And, I think he might be hurt. That that slide in by Perrin, he jammed up that leg, you could tell. But 2-run score, and it's a 2-1 Seattle U lead. Yeah, you could see that he slid late. Now Perrin's up walking around. Hopefully he just jammed it because, man, he went sliding in hard. You see him take the turn here after hitting getting the RBI. Now he takes off again. Watch this slide. It seemed like it might have been it wasn't too late, but just the way he jammed it. He might have come off the bag. Mumper thought he did, but I don't think he had the tag on him when he did pop off the bag. Yeah, he came off, but I think Mumper had his glove off of him. The umpire right there. But either way, the base hit and 2 runs come in to score, and it's a 2-1 Seattle U lead. And now Rich Dorman out there to talk to his ace. So Perrin picks up a couple of RBI. That walk comes around to score again, as does the double right behind it. Well, now Jake's got to go still through the heart of the order. Lively, Struzma, and Hurd, the 3, 4, and 5 hole hitters with a man on second and nobody out. Yeah, had Mumper kept that tag on the leg, he would have been out because he definitely came off the bag on the replay. But Mark tagged him and pulled the glove off, and then by the time he got it back there, it looked like, from our viewpoint, that Perrin had his foot back in the bag. Good to see that Perrin's okay. I thought he might have really twisted that ankle or possibly even fractured it the way he slid in there, but he seems to be fine. 1-0, and now Wong's going to have to really gut through this inning here and keep the Lopes close. Doesn't seem to have his best stuff here. Trying to right himself a bit. Lively flew out to center his last time up. 0 for 1, but hitting .350 on the season. Late swing and a miss, 1-1. Long now taking his time. Lively stepping out. Really taking some time here. Fouls that one off. So Jacob, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Nice crowd out here on a Friday night. Beautiful night for the ball game. Of course, tomorrow night out here at 7 o'clock again with a TV broadcast. Pavlica shaded a bit over toward the left. Looks like they're going to try to Pitch away from Lively here. Big gap in right center field. Meyer waiting and now positioning himself on the outside part of the plate. The 1-2, fouled it off again. Well, the Lopes don't run their pitchers down to the bullpen until the 5th inning, unless the pitcher is in distress. Jake not in distress at the moment, but not wanting this inning to get away from him. With the man on second, 2 runs already in, and nobody out. Oof. Wow. Fans don't like it. I'm not a real big fan of that call either. That should have been strike 3 on the outside corner, but it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wow. Not sure where it missed, but it's called ball. Hope that doesn't come back to bite him. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count now to Lively. Chopper right side. Bull has to backhand it on the short hop. Made it into a pretty tough play, but makes it. Runner advances to third, and there's 1 down. Woo. It had trouble written all over it, that chopper off the bat. And Austin backhanded it.
Yeah, it's a great scoop by Bull there.
So now Perrin moves down to third. Look at Bull here. Just kind of that in-between. Couldn't really get in front of it. Couldn't really, if he had to wait any longer for a bigger hop, the runner would have beat it out. So did the only thing he could. And the Lopes now bring the infield in. Want to try to cut this down. So if you want to draw it up, you want to strike out here, and then you just get the next guy with the infield back. But we'll see. Struzman will have different plans. He struck out his last time up against Wong. Fastball inside, ball 1. That one looked a little inside. Struzman hitting .310 on the year. 5 homers, 30 RBI. Down low, 2-0. So now Jake in behind in the count. 2 balls and no strikes to the redshirt senior. Dalton Hurd, the center fielder, on deck. Chopper infield. Mumper's got it. Checks the runner. Fires to first. Nicely done by Mark. 2 outs. Runner can't advance. Well, Perrin played it well, too. That was just well played by both. Perrin took a couple steps off because he knew he could get back to the bag. But once Mumper gloved it, looked at him, made the strong throw across. And so now the Lopes with a chance to get out of this. Just down 1 run, but they got to get past Dalton Hurd. Well, Albert Pujols in Major League Baseball just hit a home run tonight. He's had 595 career homers, so he's just 5 away from 600. Nice block by Meyer to save a run. As Dalton Hurd up there with 2 outs. Hurd ground out to the shortstop in the second. 1-0 the count. How many guys in Major League Baseball have 600 home runs? Down low block. Did you say 5-ish? I like that. 5-ish. Well, you got Bond. You got Bonds, Aaron. Ruth. Oh, I forgot about him. Was he good, Ruth? Bonds, Aaron, Ruth. What'd you got? Mantle? Or you have 5? You didn't have 600, right? Mays? I think Mays had 600. The 2-0. Down low. 3-0. I got a bunch of guys just feverishly typing away. We should know this. This is embarrassing. Yeah, so how many? You said 5-ish, and there's actually 8. Wow. Some of those we're not going to count. The 3-0. Strike 3-1. So we got Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Alex Rodriguez, Willie Mays, Ken Griffey, Jim Thome, and Sammy Sosa. Pujols is now just 5 away from being number 9 on that list, but I'm going to say, instead of saying 8, I'm going to say, 5-ish or 6. 3-2 the count now. I'm going to take a couple of those guys off the list. That's just me. And I'm not taking King Griffey off, and I'm not taking Jim Tomei off. Three balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs here. Seattle already put 2 on the board. They got a runner down at third. Wong trying to get out of it. Pitch to Hurd. Little chopper left side. Wyatt's got it. Throws it across in time to get Dalton Hurd. Rips off his helmet. Unhappy that he couldn't get that third run across. So Wong struggles. A leadoff walk, the double, the base hit, single to score 2, but he gets the next 3 in a row. And we go to the bottom of the third. 2-1 Seattle with the lead.
Congratulations to GCU softball for earning the 2017 WAC championship title alongside New Mexico State. For the second time in 4 years, the Lopes finished atop the Western Athletic Conference. Congratulations, softball co-champions.
Great job by Coach Pearson. Won a couple of them now. First year in and now last year in before eligibility time.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting transition for all sports, not just softball, but golf's doing well. It'd be fun to see if basketball can enter March Madness. Baseball's doing well, as if they would clinch the division here if we were eligible. So a lot of exciting things next year coming to GCU in the sports department.
Absolutely, and of course softball getting most of their field done. Their stadium's going to get finished over the summer, and this the last 5 games at Brazel Stadium as we know it, getting a complete facelift. Once the Lopes leave on Wednesday, I think they got the trucks and bulldozers coming in on Thursday, maybe Wednesday at 3. Not quite. Oh, they got to practice before they go. Okay. 2-1, GCU trails this one. The Lopes got 1 in the second. Seattle answered with 2 in the top of the third. Mumper, and then the top of the order, Bull and LaRouge coming up. Mark Mumper. First pitch misses, ball 1. Hitting .208 on the year. 2 homers, 15 RBI. Has a 4-game hitting streak going on coming into this one. Well, he plays such a great shortstop. Really solidified the infield. Rips that one to center. Hurd going back and now ranging over. Makes the grab. And that's the one knock on Mumper. The coaching staff working with him offensively saying he's got to hit the ball more on the line and more on the ground. He tends to get under it a bit too much. But, boy, I tell you what, he just keeps himself in the lineup with that defense out of shortstop. And they think he can develop into a good hitter on the squad.
Yeah, he made some good contact there, just not exactly the placement we're looking for.
Austin Bull ground out to third, his first at-bat. Bull hitting .339 on the year, squares the bunt, and it's down low. Bull with a .441 on-base percentage. Two and 0. Mentioned that the Lopes typically send their pitchers down to the bullpen in the 5th. Seattle had all their guys run down there as that one misses outside 3-0 and drop off all their gear down there in the bullpen. They're back in the dugout now, but they're getting ready just in case. Perzina struggled a bit through that second inning, but got out of it with just 1 run. Wong struggled a bit through the top of the third, but gave up 2 before he was able to get out of it. Walked Austin Bull on 4. So that is the second batter for the Lopes to reach on a freebie. Garrison Schwartz started the second inning on a free pass and came around to score. So we've had 4 walks combined in this ball game from both pitchers, and 2 of those guys have scored, and have to wait and see if the Lopes can get Bull across with the tying run as LaRouge steps in. LaRouge had a fly ball to center field that was slicing away from Dalton Hurd. He made a great play on. Back pick, not in time. We'll see what Coach Stankiewicz wants to do here. With one out, LaRouge probably bunting for a base hit if he decides to do that again. See if Coach Stankiewicz wants a straight steal, Bull 4 for 8 in stolen bases, or if he wants to try a little hit and run or just play it straight. Coach Stankiewicz coaching down at third base in his 6th season. This is the first season he's been the third base coach here at GCU. Throw over and Bull is back. Michael Potter and Aaron Gina here with you. Game 1 of this 3-game set. The Lopes leading the conference comfortably up 3.5 games, but New Mexico State still has 3 games to play. They have yet to have their Lopes have yet to have their week off from conference play. New Mexico State has in the dirt, blocked nicely by Murphy. New Mexico State's looking to keep pace. They're up 24-1 in the bottom of the 7th. What's that run rule? 23 runs after 7? So they're in good shape. It's after 7, right? 10 after 7? Yeah, so that game should end. It's in the bottom of the 7th right now, with New Mexico State getting the victory, the 2-0. In there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Yeah, New Mexico State scored, 11 runs in the series against Grand Canyon University, and they get 24 in game 1 up at Utah Valley. Another throw over. Runner back. The 2-1 pitch. There goes the runner. Good jump. And fouls it back. Well, Bull had a nice jump on that one. 2 balls and 2 strike to count. Not sure if he was going on first movement or if he's seen something over there, but Lopes haven't been fooled by Prezzini's move, and he's been very worried about the runners. He threw over to first a ton when Garrison Schwartz was on back in the 2nd inning. Way outside and past the catcher. So Bull's going to take second on the wild pitch. And that's the definition of the wild pitch. Murphy not a chance on that one as he had to lunge out to his left, and that pitch by him. So now a 3-2 count, the man in scoring position with 1 out for GCU. Payoff. Chopper right side. That'll move the runner to third. Sutton's going to have to make a nice play and no play. Decides against throwing over there as it looked like Prezzina might have been a little slow to get over, and LaRouge might have beat him out either way, but that's a smart play by Sean Sutton just to eat that one. But the Lopes now runners at the corners with 1 out. So LaRouge chops an infield single. Bull goes down to third. And you know, Sutton gloved it, and he could have spun and made a throw and tried to hit a moving target. And, boy, we personally have seen that fall apart as we saw Evans try to do that once. And I can't remember who the pitcher was, but got by him and went down the line, and the opposing runners were running amok. So now runners at the corners and Evans at the plate. The reigning whack hitter of the week fouls it back.
Lopes are doing a good job of answering the offense that the Red Hawks presented in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, trying to answer here. They got 2, did the Red Hawks, but man, GCU would love to tie it here first off and then maybe try to put a crooked number of their own up there. Good speed on the base pass. See if LaRouge tries to run here. Tommy 4 for 5 in stolen bases this season. Has a nice lead. That one ripped up the middle. Base hit. Bull waits just to make sure nobody grabs it. He comes home easily, and we're tied at 2. Evans, another RBI. Boy, and that was very similar to the base hit single we saw up the middle by Perrin that almost took off the glove and head of Jake Wong. Evans rips one up the middle and almost took off the glove and head of the pitcher Prezzina. Now we'll see if the Lopes can really get something going here with their cleanup man, Garrison Schwartz. He walked and scored. It's first time up. So now we've had 4 walks in the ball game, 2 by Prezina and 2 by Wong, and 3 of them have scored. One and one. Garrison Schwartz hitting .284 on the year. 5 homers, 39 RBI. But Gary hitting close to .350 in conference play. Going through the signs there. Evans had 6 RBI against New Mexico State. He's got 1 here and tying this ball game up. The 1-1. 2-1. So now a good hitter's count. Also a good count to do something with if you're Coach Stankiewicz. Doesn't go through too many signs down there. You also don't want to get too cute with your number 4 hole hitter at the plate. Not holding Evans on at first. Runner's not going anywhere. Ooh, nice off-speed pitch. 2-2. Boy, that was a big pitch by Prezina. Not wanting to get 3-1 on Gary. And he took something off of it and breaking ball right in there. The 2-2. Fouls it off and almost pelts his skipper and third base coach down there. Stankiewicz in the near side of the box, closest to home plate, barely getting out of the way of that one. There's Andy. Andy's got the postseason kind of beard going there, the goatee. The 2-2. Way outside, and Gary, oh, nice discipline there. Started to wave at it. Now 3-2 count with 1 out. Imagine both runners will be off with this one, so a base hit will score Rouge more than likely fairly easily, but a gapper could score Evans, who's runs well and is not being held on by Sutton down there at first base. With the lefty up there electing to play behind him, but Sutton is guarding the line. There go the runners. That one ripped. A line drive caught by the second baseman and then doubled off. Nope, a one hopper, so they go to first. Couldn't quite tell if he caught it or if it was just a one hopper, but nice fielding play by Perrin. He guns over to first. Gary hits it hard, but he's out. Runners both move up. So just a ground out, but initially it almost looked like didn't see the safe sign out there by any of the umpires, but goes a 4-3 ground out. Runners advance. 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. Pavlik at the plate, so now the Lopes need a base hit. Boy, Gary hit that one really hard, too, just right at Perrin at second. Got under it. Coming in, Suzma and Anderchuk, and it is the left fielder, Struzma, to make the grab. Well, the Lopes get one back and tie it up. 2-2 ball game as we go to the 4th. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV and the WAC Digital Network.
Learn the art of hospitality management at Grand Canyon University, right in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona, a top tourism market bustling with opportunity for our hospitality students. Join the student team at GCU Hotel, delivering unmatched service plus beautiful amenities like the Oasis Pool, full-service fitness center, Canyon 49 Grill, and the artisanal coffee and teas of GCVC. Enjoy hands-on training, leadership opportunities, and learn golf management on the rolling greens of GCU Championship Golf Course, featuring over 7,200 yards of expansive tees and tree-lined fairways. Plus, a brand new luxury clubhouse, golf pro shop, and restaurant. Across every enterprise, hospitality management at GCU is your chance to network, learn, and grow. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Two runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 left on for the Redhawks. 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 3 left on for GCU. The Lopes trying to win their 4th in a row and give themselves a chance to win another series at home on a Saturday. They've won every conference game at home, a perfect 9-0. Jake Wong will face Wells, Sutton, and Morgan, 6, 7, and 8. Wong has not had his best stuff here tonight, and it's really been more the control than anything. Fouled off left side, now to play. Chase Wells had a base hit single and then was put out 4-6 on a fielder's choice. 0-1. Oof. That one missed outside. 1-1. A beautiful night here at Brazel. Wind gusting 9-10 miles an hour toward the right field foul pole. The 1-1 in there for a strike. 1-2. Brazel, of course, plays 320 down the left field line, 330 to right, 375 to right center field, and 380 to left center field. The 1-2. 2-2. Wong tried to get him to chase, and he wouldn't. Of course, you got that hitter's eye in dead center field, the highest part of the fence. Lowest part in right field. The 2-2 fouls it off again. Brazel Stadium, named, of course, after Coach Dave Brazel, started the program. The 2-2. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, struck him out.
I think that's really important for Jake Wong to establish some more momentum coming into the later parts of this game. I don't think he's been bad or he's been great, but if he starts to get some strikeouts going, build some confidence, I think that will be the key that will support the defense. Then it can come into the offense, and the Lopes can get some more runs on the board.
Sean Sutton at the plate. Reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. We did see Jake get into a bit of a rhythm in that second inning. Up high, ball 1. But you're right, he just hasn't quite been able to string it together consistently. We've seen moments of just dominance, painting the corners, unable to catch up to his fastball, and other times where he's had trouble finding the plate. That one's in there, 1-1. Jake Repovich to go tomorrow. Jack Schneider on Sunday. 1-2. Jansen Junk will go tomorrow for the Redhawks, and Connor Moore on Sunday if we cannot get them to change to a different pitcher on Sunday. Someone that starts with the letter J and A. The 1-2 up high, 2-2. As we prepare for ball games, and we have a lot of time, the things we talk about are the fact that 50% of the pitchers scheduled to start here in this series are named Jake. And 5 of the 6 start with the J and an A for their first name. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. So back-to-back Ks here in the 4th, and to your point, Aaron, Jake may be starting to find a little bit of rhythm here.
I don't want to say anything too soon, because every time we talk and praise Jake, the opposite happens. So let's just, commentate. We'll see what happens, and maybe some one more K can come.
4th strikeout, Jeffrey Morgan at the plate, and Morgan was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd. In there for a strike. Jake just rearing back and firing here. I mean, he's a big kid. He's a power pitcher. One of the true power pitchers the Lopes have had over the years. The 0-1. Chop foul, 0-2. Repovich, who's going to go tomorrow, a little different. More of a crafty lefty, but he's got sneaky speed with that fastball and slider. And then Snyder, the freshman, A guy coming in, they weren't sure where he would fit in. They thought he could pitch for him. They kind of thought he would be a midweek guy and a bullpen guy. Once Deegan Hart, the transfer from JUCO, struggled a bit, Jack's in there and pitched well. Down low, tried to get him to chase a breaking pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jeffrey Morgan. Morgan in 202 on the year now. 1 homer, 17 RBI, 26 strikeouts for Morgan. The 1-2. Got into that one, lofts it to center. Pavlica coming over toward right. Makes the grab, and there we go. A 1-2-3 inning for Jake Wong. Strikeout, fly out to center. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-2 ball game here at Brazel.
If you're visiting campus this summer, why not stay at the GCU Hotel? Featuring comfortable rooms, a resort-style pool, and the Canyon 49 Grill, it's the perfect place to stay when coming to GCU. Rooms start at $79 a night. Book a room today at gcuhotel.com.
2-2 ball game here at Brazel. Lopes coming up. It'll be Signs, Wyatt, and Meyer to face Prezina. And now in the 4th inning here, you've got the bullpen getting full here for the Red Hawks as they all are congregating down by the bullpen, having a chat. Looks like they're going to get ready to get into the bullpen just in case Prezina needs some help here in this inning. Both pitchers have given up 2 runs on 3 hits, but they both had their moments where they've struggled finding the plate. We'll see if now the Red Hawks or some of them are coming back to the dugout. A couple of them are hanging out in the bullpen. Nope, now they're all heading back to the dugout. So trying to psych me out there a little bit. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Red Hawks. They've left 3 on. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Lopes. They've left 3 on. Signs had the double back in the 2nd to push Garrison Schwartz down to 3rd. Gary came around to score on the sac fly by Wyatt, but Signs was stranded out of 2nd to end the inning. Inside, ball 1. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow night's ball game on CW6 at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. first pitch, the 1-0. Chopper. Perrin's going to have to wait on it, snags it, fires in time for the out. So that'll be Barry Butel with the call. Shea Hillenbrand will be the analyst on that one when the color commentating, and Kate Longworth will be down in the dugouts and in the crowd. That's the A team right there. Barry, Shea, and Kate. Ty Wyatt, sack fly, his first time up to drive in the first run of the ball game for GCU. Rips that one right up the middle. Well, 2 shots up the middle have almost taken the cap off the starter. Evans in the 3rd to drive in a run, and Wyatt here to get aboard with an out, with 1 man out. Wyatt now 1 for 1, has an RBI in this one, and I'll bring up Josh Meyer. Josh Meyer, possibly the best walk-up music of the Lopes. Little BG staying alive. Going old school. Wyatt takes his lead. Big lead by Wyatt. Ooh, he waited a minute, dove back. The ball gets away, though, from Sutton. Wyatt's going to go to 2nd without a throw. Boy, I think Sutton thought he had the ball and was going to tag him out. I think Wyatt would have been out had Sutton caught that ball. Sutton couldn't come up with it, and now Wyatt down at 2nd base. So Wyatt now down in scoring position. We'll take a look at that one again in just a moment here. But it looked to me like Sutton, it wasn't a bad throw. Sutton just muffed it. We'll take a look again, though. That one hit pretty well to center field. Hurd, though, now coming over, the wind pushing it in. Wyatt unable to go anywhere. So Wyatt now down at 2nd. You see him cruising in there, but boy, it looked like that throw over. Looked like that throw over was a pretty good throw. Just Sutton thought he had it, reached back with the tag, and then the ball just got away. So Wyatt still at second. 2 outs, and it'll be up to Mark Mumper. Wyatt starts and stops. Now he's hung up in the middle. Not sure what's going on there. They throw behind him. Wyatt in a pickle here. The throw. Oh, and he missed the tag, and Wyatt dives in. Oh, they got him. They say they tagged him on. They got him on the tag. Not sure what Wyatt was doing. He's talking to his coach right now. He took off, and it looked like he had a pretty good jump, but then he stopped right in the middle of the base paths and is tagged out for the 3rd out of the inning. So, yeah, right there. Ooh. They're saying they got him on the tag. I'm not so sure about that one. And the third baseman, Lively, he sure didn't think he got him on the tag. But either way, bad base running there by Wyatt, and that is the inning. 2-2 ball game as we go to the 5th. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV and the WAC Digital Network.
Hi, I'm JC. I am a freshman here at Grand Canyon University. I'm majoring in Christian studies and minoring in psychology. The possibilities here at GCU are endless. There are so many resources for me to be successful. I want to be a pastor, so I've developed this program called Weekly Words. Basically, what we do is we go out to an awesome place in Phoenix and we film a 3 to 5 minute word. Coming down here to GCU and seeing everything that they were doing really encouraged me to take the gospel to a contemporary outlet. The Christian community here is modernized and relatable. This is a safe place spiritually for people to grow. I think GCU is preparing me for a world outside of that protective bubble that we put ourselves in. They really encourage the school spirit here. Games are absolutely insane. I count myself a Havoc, so I'm a little crazy. Havocs are the embodiment of everything a GCU student wants to be.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
2-2 ball game in the 5th here. Jake Wong will face 9-1-2. Kyler Murphy, Griffin Anderchuk, and Curtis Perrin. Pretty even ball game here, as you can see on the scoreboard, and both teams have left 3 on base. First pitch to Murphy, in there for strike 1. Murphy walked his first time up. That was in the 3rd. Came around to score the first run of the ball game. In the 2nd, Griffin Anderchuk was right behind him. Fouled off. Well, when I talked to Coach Stankiewicz prior to the game, and you can catch those on SoundCloud, we do the interview, and Josh puts them up on SoundCloud, and we usually tweet them out, but you can check it out. When I talked to Coach Stankiewicz, he said, you don't want to look at the records of this team, the Seattle team. They always play us tough. They're a very good team. Doesn't look like it. That one hits him. Well, they hit 11 in that Kansas series. They didn't anybody down at Las Cruces, but they get the hit batter here, and once again, Murphy aboard with the free pass. This one he had to earn a little bit. Didn't feel as good as the ball 4. But he's on board to start the 5th. This is exactly how the 3rd started, with Murphy getting on board. Anderchuk doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2, a double and a ground out to short. Anderchuk taking a lot of time getting ready here. Griffin now 8 hits away from the career record at Seattle. Up high. Anderchuk in 278 on the season. That's at 42 hits. 2 homers, 16 RBI. Murphy 3 for 5 with stolen bases down there at first. Has his lead. Evans holding him on. Throw over. Dives back safely. Lopes have a midweek with San Jose State after this series. That'll be the last 2 games in Brazil Stadium before they do the facelift. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Of course, the rebuilding of Brazil, part of the 10-2 project. 10 new facilities in 2 years. They'll be finishing that off. Lopes have a brand new facility to play in. Their first year eligible for postseason play. 5th year back in Division I for baseball. In there for a strike. 1-2. Part of the $1 billion campus expansion that was announced in 2016. Covered chairback seats wrapping around the infield behind home plate, as well as a grass berm seating down the first base side.
Grass berm seating.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Sounds fancy.
The 1-2. Back pick, throw, not in time. 2-2. Going to be beautiful. Bowl seating, expansive press box with multiple broadcast booths and concession space, team clubhouse, umpire room, photo and video wall. Two balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out, man on first. He got there after being hit by a pitch. There he goes. Oh, a line drive's going to get through into right field. Murphy's going to take third. That line drive base hit right in the spot that Austin Bull vacated to cover second base. Just got it past him. So now Seattle keeping the pressure going. Runners at the corners and nobody out. They're reminiscent of that 3rd inning. So Anderchuk now 2 for 3, just 7 hits away from the all-time record. Murphy now down at 3rd and visit to the mound. You see Griffin, boy, just squares that one up and shoots it past Austin Bull, who was on the move to cover the bag at 2nd. Well, you got runners at the corners. That's the difference. But in the 3rd inning, Murphy started the inning with a walk, and then Anderchuk doubled. The very next batter, the man up, Curtis Perrin, got a base hit single up the middle to drive in both runners. The difference here, Murphy was hit by a pitch, and Anderchuk got a base hit single, so he got runners at the corners. But Perrin with another chance. Down low, blocked nicely and snagged by Meyer.
I think this is an important at-bat for Wong. He's got runners on the corner, 0 outs. Redhawks in a really good offensive position right now. So if he can force a force out with a chopper or get a strikeout here, I think that'll be really important to kind of establish some momentum in the middle innings here.
Yeah, Wong would love the strikeout here and then a double play to end the inning, or you take the double play right here. It's up high. Now 2-0. What you don't want to do is what he just did, get behind him here. Now Perrin in a good hitter's count here, 2 balls and no strikes. Could take one and still be in a great counter. Just sit dead red here and look for that fastball. Throw over in the runner back. Well, Bakersfield at home has already beaten the Bears of Northern Colorado 6-0. New Mexico State got the big victory at Utah Valley, and Chicago State won at home over Sac State. The 2-0. Big swing and a miss. He was sitting on that fastball, trying to park one, and just came up empty. 2 balls and 1 strike to Perrin. The 2-1. See if they want to get Anderchuk moving. He's not. Tries to bunt that when he does. Pops it up, and he makes the grab. Does Wyatt. Well, that was fortunate for GCU. Perrin trying to take the Lopes by surprise and put a little safety squeeze down, and Wyatt on his horse, able to hustle in and make the grab for the first out of the inning. So now the double play would get Jake Wong and the Lopes out of it.
Yeah, Wyatt's making up for some bad base running there. He's able to secure the catch and, move towards the 3 outs here that the Lopes really need going in here in the top of the 5th.
Lively 0 for 2. He flew out to center and he grounded out to second. We'll take a ground out to second here, or a ground ball to second, or short would be great. Now with Anderchuk down there at first, he's got good speed. See if they want him rolling. He's 2 for 4 in stolen bases. Not a huge lead though. Even with the lefty up, Evans holding him on. First pitch Misses. 1-0 the count to Lively.
A lot of close pitches here.
Yeah. Well, it seems like he likes the home plate umpire. They all have different zones.
Mm-hmm.
John Bullock seems to like that pitch a little bit higher in a way than the low pitch. Looked pretty good, though. That can turn a whole lot of bat around when you get squeezed on that first pitch. And the fake to third and the fake to first. Rarely works, but a good attempt just to kind of throw everybody's timing off a bit. Murphy down at third. He was hit by a pitch. Went to third on the base hit single by Anderchuk, who was down at first. 1-0. Nice off-speed pitch and Lively. Just got a piece of it. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. We are in the 5th. Lively hitting .348 on the season. Hitting .333 with runners on, throw over and Anderchuk back. And he's hitting .364 with runners in scoring position. So a lot of 300 average in those numbers I gave you there. The 1-1. 2-1.
Yeah, Lively's had a cool baseball career. He was able to participate in 2 state championships. He won the 2016 state championship before entering his freshman year with the Red Hawks, and he actually scored the game-winning run for the state championship in 2016. So a really great high school experience, and then going on to his first year in college at Seattle U. And look where he is now.
Yeah, hitting in the number 3 hole and hitting close to .350.
Pretty good place for a
Good
freshman.
ball player. Yeah, late on that one. 2-2. Wong looking for his 5th strikeout here to try to get himself out of the jam. He's kind of created for himself. The man on third was hit by a pitch. Yeah, Lively just might be one of those kids that just seems to be a winner every stop. That's a good get for this Seattle ball club. A freshman that can contribute right away. The 2-2 fouls it back. The Lopes had a lot of those last year with Malice and Bull, especially. Pavlica did that. Schwartz came in and committed it and played as a freshman. And that's the one thing for GCU when you look at this lineup here. They've got one senior that's going to get recognized on senior day. It's a very young team. You should have, other than the draft, a couple guys might go in the draft. Will they go high enough to go anywhere? You should have this entire team back next season except for A.J. Franks, who they're going to miss him, but really nice to see this whole team coming back.
Yeah, it's a great place to be for a ball club, especially going into the first year of eligibility. They'll have a roster that's able to compete and hopefully get in that top 25.
And this coaching staff always does a nice job on the recruiting trail, and so these guys won't be able to rest on their laurels. There'll be some freshmen jumping in, wanting playing time, pushing them. 3-2 pitch here with runners at the corners and 1 out. Wow. First pitch of the at-bat looked good. Last pitch of the at-bat looked good. Neither were called strikes, and the bases are loaded.
Yeah, it's a tough call because if he calls that a strike, now you're at 2 outs versus 1 out and the bases loaded. So there's a really big shift there.
So the runner at first walked. The runner at third was hit by a pitch, and Anderchuk down to second. Got on with the base hit single. Struzma at the plate. Struzma ground out to short in the third. He struck out in the first. Chance to do some damage here with the bases loaded. Hitting .308 on the year, hitting .364 with the bases loaded. Man, he did not waste any time. Goes after the first pitch. It was high and out of the zone, and he was a bit behind it. No balls and 1 strike to count to Struzma. Good speed on the pass. Murphy easily will come home with the base hit, but Anderchuk at second with good speed and Lively with good speed, plus he's going to get a good lead as Evans is playing off the bat. 0-1. Breaking pitch, chopper or hit in the air to left, going back, up, and it's going to bounce off the wall. Murphy scores easily. Anderchuk's going to come around. Lively got a great jump, and he's going to come around to score. No throw, 3 across on the double by Struzma. And that blows the game open here. Still time to play, but 5-2 Seattle. Boy, Struzma just kind of reached down on that one and shot it in the left field. A one-hopper off the wall. Initially thought that possibly LaRouge was going to be able to track that one down. But it gets over his head. Lively was cruising from first. He got a great read on that one. Was able to come around to score from first base. So 3-run double. Still just 1 out and a man in scoring position. And the Redhawks all over the Lopes, 5-2. That'll bring up Hurd. First pitch to Hurd. Fouled it off. Boy, this Seattle team getting aggressive here, going after Jake Wong. This is the thing that kind of scared me about this club, this Seattle team. Their numbers, if you look in the Western Athletic Conference, they're right in the middle of the pack. They shouldn't be at the bottom of the pack here. And kind of worried they might break out against the Lopes. The 0-1 tried to check a swing in their first strike, 0-2. And they have. But 5 runs on 5 hits. 2 of those 3 that came across were put on with a walk and the hit batter. Of the 5 runs they've scored, 3 of those runners have gotten on with a free pass. 2 walks and a hit batter. The 0-2. Wow. 1-2. Well, John Bullock doing Jake Wong no favors here. Sometimes that inside pitch is a strike, and sometimes it isn't. Heard a couple of ground outs to short and to third. Now Jake's going to step off as Struzma taking a big lead. The big hit in this one, the bases loaded double by Struzma, who is out there at second. Still just 1 out. That's very reminiscent of that 3rd inning, but they've been able to hang a big crooked number on the board with 3 runs and still batting here. Over the mound. Bull, bare hands, throws, not in time. Infield single, runners at first and second.
That ball took a weird hop there. Bull was able to make a great barehanded play, but couldn't quite finish it off with the throw. But he probably made that play to the best of his ability.
Yeah, he made it closer than it really should have been. Once that gets over the pitcher, you're really not going to do anything there. So now not only the big double, 1 hopper off the wall by Struzma, but now the C&I little ground ball up the middle. The infield single. Bring up Chase Wells.
Yeah.
Wells 0 for 2.
Wong continues to struggle here in the top of the 5th.
Wells 1 for 2. He had the base hit single, but then was erased on a fielder's choice and struck out his last time up. Missed outside. Now we get some action in the pen for GCU. The fans aren't liking it, but home plate umpire Bullock has been tough on that outside corner. Or the inside corner, for that matter. Really pinching the strike zone here. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 to Chase Wells. Wells hitting .287 on the year, the designated hitter. 0 homers, 11 RBI. The 1-1. Late on that one, 1-2. Action in the bullpen, Josh Andrews, the sophomore lefty for GCU. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Pitch to Wells, on the way. 2-2. Sutton on deck. Struzma at second. Hurd at first. Fouled off. Two balls and 2 strikes here in the 5th. New Mexico State's already won. And they won easily. 24-1, the final up in Orem, Utah. The 2-2. In the air. Pavlica rushing, dives off his glove. Boy, he almost made a great catch. Struzma, Hurd's right on his heels. The throw's going to be to third. The throw gets past Wyatt. Wong's there to back him up, but the triple scores 2, and it's 7-2 Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle continues to put runs on the board here. Struzma and Hurd scoring there.
Well, Struzma waiting to see if it would land. Phenomenal play by Pavlik out there just to get to it. The wind pushing it away a bit. Made the dive, and you see it here. What a dive. Just carried on a bit off the glove. Couldn't come up with it, and that's going to do it for Jake Wong. And a couple more runs come across. They put 5 on the board here. The wheels have fallen off for the Lopes here in the 5th. And we're going to get a new pitcher. Jake Wong has already faced 7 in this inning and just 1 out. Andrews was warming up. You see the throw into third. A good throw might have got him. It would have been close because Wells was on his horse. Got away from Wyatt, but nowhere for Wells to go. And that's going to be it for Jake Wong. So Jake's going to go 4 1/3 innings here. And really 3 of his last 4 starts have not been his best stuff. He'll give way to Josh Andrews.
Yeah, really unfortunate here for Wong. You always want to end the season going out strong, throwing your best. And for him to struggle here against the Red Hawks, a team that the GCU should handle, just always not what you want for one of your best pitchers, too.
Well, Andrews will come in now, the sophomore lefty out of Queen Creek, Arizona. Josh Andrews wears number 31, 5.14 ERA. This is his 18th appearance. Hasn't started any games this year. Does have 1 save under his belt. But in 14 innings, Andrews, 11 hits, 8 runs, 8 earned. He's walked 10 and struck out 16 opposition and 234 against him. And he comes into a ball game with just 1 out and another runner in scoring position, man on third. And Lopes already trailing by 5 runs. They've come back from some big deficits, an 8-run comeback against UTRGV. But boy, you don't want to get down too many to these guys. And Seattle, as Coach Stankiewicz said, a team that you look at their record, 5-10, they're scuffling. But boy, a much better team than their record might suggest. And the bats are really coming alive here at Brazel tonight. Three of the runs of the 7 that have come across have scored by guys who got on with free passes, a couple of walks and a hit batter. It's been the extra base hits for Seattle in this ball game. They had a double in the 3rd, and in this inning alone, you got a double and a triple. So Andrews coming in to stem the tide here, and Sean Sutton at the plate. Still just 1 out and a man on third. Sutton, the 8th hitter of the inning for the Red Hawks. Swing and a miss from the lefty to the lefty. Meyer's going to come out, and Evans now going to come in and chat as well. I'm not sure if Josh Meyer called a different pitch, got something different, or maybe they just want to make sure and chat about what they might do if Seattle does try a squeeze play here of some sort. Two on the board in the 3rd for Seattle, 5 here in the 5th. The 0-1 is square into bunt, and that one low and away, 1-1. Sutton struck out his last time, reached on a fielder's choice in the second, so he's 0 for 2 in this one. Hitting a $199 on the year, 1 homer, 18 RBI. Two and one. Well, Jake in his 4 1/3 has given up 7 runs. They were all earned. He's responsible for the man down at third base, Wells, as well. Little squibber. Runner starts, then stops. Quick throw to first. Nice play by Bull as he hustles in, looks the runner back, and still able to make the throw to first to get out Sutton. That's second out of the inning. Well, Wells wasn't sure what to do. Had he broke on contact, he probably could have scored, but had that ball been scooped up by the pitcher, Andrews, he would have been gunned down at home. So made the right play, and it worked out well for GCU. So they get the out. Runner can't advance. Jeffrey Morgan, 9th hitter of the inning. 0 for 2. Flew out to center and struck out. Down low, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Miss outside, 2-0. So Wong threw 105 pitches through 4 1/3, and this is where you see the problem. He only had 65 strikes out of those 105 pitches. In there for a strike, 2-1. He faced 24 batters, 13 first pitch strikes. When we've seen Jake on and effective, much higher strikeout to pitch ratio and a much higher first pitch strike ratio, the 2-1. Down low, 3-1.
Yeah, not exactly the start we were expecting from Jake Wong. Hopefully Andrews can help bounce back here and we can get the bats going on offense. And Lopes can turn around this 7-2 game that is a little, it's not a New Mexico State game. But
3-1 pitch fouled back. Yeah, they have come back. They've got that power to come back. And Seattle's biggest problems this year on the mound have been their bullpen and their middle relief. So if they can get to Prezina and chase him, they might have a chance here. But first things first, trying to get out of this inning. Andrews coming in, got the first batter he faced on a little squibber to second. See if he can get Morgan on a 3-2 pitch. Just missed inside, boy. Got to tell you, folks, those pitches don't look too bad, but not getting the calls. And, you know, Bullock, for his credit, he has not wavered in that strike zone. He's not giving those close pitches. And so another walk, and that'll bring up Kyler Murphy, who led off. And now I think he's given a warning to the bench for calling those balls and strikes or hollering at him. Is that what he's given, a warning to the bench? And imagine that's what that is. Guys chirping at him with the balls and strike calls, but quite frankly, he's hasn't given Lopes any favors in this inning, pinching Jake Wong and pitching Andrews there on pitches that easily could have been strikes. But it is what it is, and Kyler Murphy's at the plate was runners at the corners. Murphy led off this inning, was hit by a pitch, and scored the 3rd run of the ball game. So 10th batter of the inning for Seattle. Ground ball up the middle. Bull's got it, going to step on the bag himself, and that's the inning. Well, Andrews gets the Lopes out of the inning, but 5 runs come across on 4 hits, no errors, and a couple left on base. 7-2 Seattle with the lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
well, if you're lacking in the clothes department, the best place to get your Lopes gear is at lopeshops.gcu.edu to find everything GCU. From the newest apparel to the coolest accessories, use promo code GCUTV20 to get 20% off for being a GCU TV viewer. Let's paint the valley purple. Lopes up.
Lopes in a hole. A couple crooked numbers on the board for Seattle. 2 in the third and the big one. 5 in the fifth. Chase the starter Jake Wong. 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 5 left on for Seattle. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 3 left on for GCU. The Lopes will have 9-1-2. Mumper, Bull, and LaRouge due up here to face Jake Przina. They've gotten to Przina, had him on the ropes in a couple of innings, only able to get a couple of runs across, a 1 spot in the second and a 1 spot in the third. See if they can string some things together. Now Coach Stankiewicz is going to come out, I think, and he wants to have a word with the home plate umpire. Yeah, and it might just be a simple thing of saying, hey, just make sure you keep that strike zone the same because you were really pinching our guys. And I just want to make sure you keep it the same. And if you do, that's all we can ask for. But I got to tell you, folks, there was a lot of pitches in that inning that didn't help out Wong or Andrew. So we'll keep an eye on it. Mumper flew out to center in the third. He was up there at the plate when Wyatt was caught stealing on a kind of a weird steal. He had a great jump, was halfway to third, and then just stopped in the middle and was eventually thrown out in a rundown. Actually, the replay showed it didn't look like he was ever tagged, but they did make the call that he was tagged in the rundown, and he was called out for the third out of the inning. Final line on Wong, 4 1/3, 7 hits, 7 runs, all earned, walked 3, and struck out 4. 2-0. Faced 24 batters, hit a man, gave up a couple of doubles and a triple. 105 pitches, 65 strikes. So not a great outing for Jake Wong. In there for a strike, 2-1. So Lopes now just need to start chipping away here. We're in the bottom of the fifth, so time to play. See if they can just get things going here bit by bit. 3-1. Mumper than the top of the order.
Yeah, still a lot of baseball here for the Lopes, so plenty of time to chip away and get back at the 7-2 lead. But the biggest thing, they just got to play some good defense and get the pitching game back under control here.
Fouled off. Count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Przina, 4 innings, 4 hits, a couple of runs, both earned. He's walked 2, struck out 2, entering this inning 65 pitches. The 3-2 to Mumper. He walked him. Well, that's one. The catcher, Kyler Murphy, looks back. That's one. If you're a Seattle fan watching the ballgame, you go, oh, come on. That looked pretty good. But it counts as a walk to Mumper. So it looks like home plate umpire John Bullock is keeping a pretty similar strike zone here. Top of the order, man on first, nobody out. Austin Bull walked and scored his last time up. Ground out the third in the first inning. Strike on the outside corner, so maybe I spoke too soon. Austin hitting .339 on the year. 0 for 1 in this one. Did score a run, as I mentioned. No homers, 11 RBI. Chop foul. Ball's in 2 strikes now on Austin Bull, but he's one guy that does not mind at all hitting with a couple of strikes on it. Mumper takes his lead. Mark 0 for 1 in stolen bases. The 0-2 up high. They're going to throw back down to first, and Mumper back in plenty of time. We see a lot of guys try for that back pick. A lot of guys do it in probably too much. I mean, it's a high risk, high reward kind of play, but Mumper not nearly far enough off to warrant a back pick on that one. The 1-2. Bull gets into one to right field. Morgan going back, still drifting back. Oh, off his glove as he collides with the wall. Mumper on his horse. He's going to go to third, and Bull into second. Boy, that ball was really giving Morgan a lot of trouble as that thing was going all the way back to the wall. A much tougher play than you probably imagined because the ball just continued to carry, the wind blowing out that way. And as you look at it, man, he's tracking back to the wall about 2 steps in front. He reaches up, but boy, it never looked like he had a bead on that one. And so Bull at second and Mumper at third. So now the Lopes got something going here. LaRouge at the plate, first pitch. Prezina, a ball. LaRouge singled his last time up, flew out to center on a great play by the center fielder Dalton Hurd in the first. The 1-0. In the air, foul, 1-1. Well, Prezina got a 5 spot from his team in the top half of this frame, and you want him to go out there and basically just shut down the Lopes. And he's got runners at second and third and nobody out. Lucas Chapman, the freshman righty, warming up in the pen for Seattle. That one fouled off. One ball, 2 strike count to LaRouge. 339 on the year, 1 homer, 21 RBI. Chance to pick up a couple big ribbies here. The Lopes need them both. The 1-2. In the air to left. Started in, now going back. Struzman, now he falls down, makes the grab. Both runners are going to try to tag, and both runners are going to advance. Boy, the corner outfielders for Seattle, very unsure of themselves on the last 2 fly balls. Struzman started in, started back, had to dive for that one. Bull alertly went to third. Had Struzman played that correctly and not had to dive to the ground, no way he would have tagged on that one. So good base running by Bull. Mumper comes in to score on the sac fly, and Lopes get 1 back, but they can't be satisfied, down 7-3. Now Evans at the plate. Drove in a run with a single his last time up, struck out his first time up. Pitch inside. Evans, a reigning whack hitter of the week. 335 on the year, hitting 352 with runners in scoring position. In the dirt, Kyler Murphy with the block. 2-0. Four homers, 35 RBI for Ian Evans. He trails only Garrison Schwartz, who's got 39 RBI for the lead on the team. Fouled off. Lopes have had comebacks this year. They came back from 8 to win on a Sunday against UTRGV. Trying to come back from 5 down here, the 2-1. Little chopper to short. Bull on his horse. He's going to come in to score. They were playing back, so he scores easily on the ground ball. So the 6-3 putout brings another run in. And the Lopes get 2 back at 7-4.
That's all the Lopes really need to do is just chip away at this lead. 7-4, it's doable.
So Evans gets another RBI. Now just 3 behind Garrison Schwartz, who's at the plate right now, up high, ball 1. Well, you look at the Lopes. 39 RBI for Schwartz, 36 for Evans, and when that one hits him, well, that one got away, obviously not trying to do anything but come inside a bit and got away, and luckily it looked like didn't get him in the helmet, got him right back in between the shoulders there, right in the shoulder blades it looked like. So Gary on base for the second time, a walk and a hit by pitch. I'll bring up Preston Pavlica. Well, if Pavlica could get into one here, I think it's a really interesting ball game in a hurry. Now both starters have walked a couple and hit one. They're going to make the change right here. Looks like they might be making the change right here with the righty coming up to the plate. Elliot Kribbe not even going to come out there. The skipper, Donnie Harrell, is going to come right out and looks like he's going to make the change right now. Number 7, Lucas Chapman, had been warming up. See if he's the guy coming in, and it looks like it is. Number 7, Lucas Chapman, the freshman righty, 6-footer out of Seattle, Washington, and Mercer Island High School. So now both teams have gone to their bullpens here in the 5th inning. Wong able to go through 4 1/3, and Prezina able to go through 4 2/3. So neither going to get a win on this day. Lucas Chapman, this will be his 11th appearance. He does have 4 starts under his belt. A 5.25 ERA and a record of 1-2. In 24 innings, he's given up 28 hits, 14 runs. They've all been earned. He's walked 10 and struck out 15. Opposition hitting .308 against Chapman. He's given up 3 home runs and 6 doubles. So he has been tagged. Of those 40 hits, about a quarter of them, or excuse me, of those 28 hits, 9 of them have been extra base hits. So good to see the Lopes battling back here after giving up the 5 spot in the top half of the frame. They got 2 on the board, and now with 2 outs, have to get some 2-out base hits here to keep the pressure going. But we talked about it coming into this bottom half of the 5th. You know, you'd love to get 5, 6, 7 back, but if you can at least get a couple here and make it a little bit tighter, and that's what the Lopes have been able to do. Well, we mentioned earlier, Bakersfield won at home 6-2 over Sac State. Or, excuse me, 6-0 over the Bears in Northern Colorado. Chicago State won at home 6-2 over Sac State. And New Mexico State won on the road 24-1 at Utah Valley. So New Mexico State on pace to score 72 runs in that series. Would doubt they do that, but after coming off 11 in the entire series against the Lopes, they really got their bats going. So everybody now kind of scratching their heads and going, man, were the Lopes just on fire in that series? Was New Mexico State just off? Are they really that much better than, everybody else in the conference except for the Lopes? Well, that's what baseball is all about. And now here, the new pitcher, Lucas Chapman, will face Preston Pavlica. Pavlica 0 for 2, first to throw over. Well, the last pitcher, Prezina, really worried about Gary over there at first base, and now Chapman comes right in worried about him.
Maybe there's something we don't know about Gary.
I guess so. I mean, he's a great base runner, but he's not technically a big-time base stealer on the outside corner for a strike. Pavlica, a couple of flyouts, hitting .270 on the year. 2 homers, 9 RBI. Doesn't even step out of the box after that outside pitch. Ready to go, the 0-1. Late swing and a miss. Now he's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. So Chapman doing what they want him to do, coming in, throwing strikes. Looked like Aiden Hushley warming up down there in the pen as well. Bounces away. Garrison Schwartz able to take second on the wild pitch. One and 2 now the count with the run in scoring position. Gary walked in that second inning, came around to score. Is hit by the pitch in this one. Now he's in scoring position. So a 2-out base knock by Pavlica could get the Lopes to within a couple. Way outside. So Chapman was painted that corner on his first 2 pitches to Preston, and now he can't find it here. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a man on second. The pitch. Fouled back. It looks like Alden Hushley warming up. Another right-hander for Seattle. 2-2 pitch. Ooh, just stayed alive on that one. That was high and tight around the shoulders. So count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Preston hitting 227 with 2 outs, but 300 with runners in scoring position. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. The fake back to second, bring Garrison Schwartz a little bit closer to the bag. Perrin trying to keep Garrison Schwartz close. Possibly give his outfielders a chance to throw out Gary at the plate on a base hit. The 2-2. Ground ball to short. Anderchuk's got it. Couple of crow hops. Fires in time to get the speedy Pavlica. Well, 5 on the board in the top of the inning for Seattle. The Lopes answer with 2, but it's a 7-4 lead for Seattle. We've completed 5. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV and the WAC Digital Network.
Time. You always take the time for ballet class and doctor's appointments, for school meetings and school drop-offs, late nights, early mornings. You wouldn't have it any other way. Bad dreams and good days. Big chapters and little moments. But as they grow, you can too. There's never been a better time to create a better future. GCU's online degree program puts you first, so you can make the most of your time. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
Boy, an exciting 5th inning. 7 runs on the board. Unfortunately for the home fans, 5 of them were for the other team. So 5 runs on the board in that 5th inning for Seattle to take that big 7-2 lead. The Lopes get a couple back. It's a 7-4 ball game as we go to the 6th inning. Josh Andrews back on the hill for his first full inning of work, and he'll face the top of the order, Anderchuk, Perrin, and Lively. Andrews came in after Wong had already given up those 5 runs. Got a ground out, walked the guy, and then got a ground ball fielder's choice. Both teams have gone to their bullpens. Andrews on the bump for GCU. Lucas Chapman finished out the last inning. That pitch catches a corner strike 1 to Anderchuk. Lucas Chapman finished out the 5th. Got 1 batter, a ground out by Pavlica to finish off that inning for Seattle. Only ball game still going here tonight in the WAC. UTRGV not playing this weekend. I went outside 1-1. It's like they're taking the weekend off. A lot of teams trying to find somebody to play. It's a 9-team league. 1 team has the weekend off. UTRGV's got it this weekend. 1-2 the count to Anderchuk. Anderchuk has been a thorn in the side of GCU. He came into this ball game 9 hits away from the all-time lead in base hits for Seattle. He's already got 2 here. 2 for 3 with a couple of runs scored. A single in the 5th, a double in the 3rd. The 1-2. That one did not break as it was intended to do. Two ball, 2-strike count to Griffin Anderchuk. Anderchuk, the senior shortstop. What a career he's had here for these Red Hawks. The 2-2, foul back. And, I saw him come into this series and not having a season that he would typically have, and maybe a little worried because he always plays well against GCU. Came in hitting 275, has already raised it to 283. .41 games played this year, 41 starts. for Anderchuk. The 2-2. Fouled off. So staying alive. Both teams with guys down in their bullpens. But nobody throwing right now. Especially on a Friday night, you go to your bullpen. You really want those mid-relief guys to give you 3 or 4 innings. The 2-2. Up high. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that was definitely out of the zone, but the way the fans feel like they got pinched that last inning by Bullock, anything even remotely close, they're going to get some groans. I believe he's already given a warning to the Lopes bench for chirping about the strike zone. Coach Stankiewicz came out and talked to him after that warning and after the inning ended. The 3-2. Again, swing and a miss. Struck him out. So Josh gets his first strikeout since coming into the ball game. 1 up, 1 down. Curtis Perrin. Perrin walked, stole a base, was stranded at third in the first. Got a 2 RBI single in the third. First pitch misses, ball 1. And then came up in the 5th in an odd situation, tried to bunt with the man on third, but popped it up, and Ty Wyatt was able to storm in from third base and make the grab with runners at the corners. Bunting there, drags it, going to get it past Andrews and should be able to leg it out. No throw. What a beautiful bunt that was. The bunt single with 1 out puts a man on first. Well, you got the lefty falling off to the third base side. Once it got past Andrews, not a chance for Austin Bull. So Curtis Perrin on for the 3rd time out of 4 plate appearances to bring up Austin Lively. Lively had the big hit, the triple on a 3-2. Or I'm sorry, that was Wells, the walk to load it up for Lively, and then he came in to score the 3rd run of the ball game. Big swing and a miss. Lively going for the downs there. He had the fly out to center, the ground out to second, and then walked and scored in the 5th. He came around to score from first base on that triple. And Deegan Hart walking around down there. Looks like he's going to get the glove on and start throwing in the Lopes pin. Another bunt. Wyatt hustling in. Fields fires over the glove and off the glove of Evans. Took him into the runner. Perrin's coming around. He's going to stop at third. Well, they put the ball in play. The throw by Wyatt was high. Couldn't be handled, so Lively takes second. And now you got Perrin down at third and Lively at second on the E5 on the throw.
Yeah, these are mistakes that the Lopes don't need to make, especially down 7-4. They really got to play some solid defense to get the bats going. But an error like there from Wyatt, not good for the Lopes.
Wow, Perrin just trying to put the ball in play, gets aboard. Then Lively, the same thing. And Wyatt hustles in. The throw just sailed on him. And, you know, Evans tried to reach for it, but the throw was taking him into the runner. To avoid the collision, he just kind of reached out and couldn't hang on to it. So now, Struzum at the plate. He doubled his last time up. And that was his double that Lively came streaking around from first to score on. So Seattle right back at it again. 1-0. Deegan Hart warming up in the pen. Infield in for GCU. Don't want to give Seattle any more breathing room. Big swing and a miss on a high fastball, 1-1. Continuous times here for the Lopes. Seems like they've been in jams the entire game. The 1-1 fouled off 1 and 2. Pitchers having to make pitches. Jake Wong kind of pitched himself into a few of those jams. Here, Andrews, not really his fault. A beautiful bump by Perrin, and then A bunt by Lively that should have just been a sac bunt, moving the runner over in the second out of the inning, and Ty Wyatt throwing on the run. Not an easy play, but play you expect him to make, and threw it high to first.
Yeah, Red Hawks playing good baseball here on this weekend series. Really just showing the momentum that they're able to bring, and showing that their schedule and their lineup is a little bit better than maybe that has previously been displayed.
Yeah, that record, you look at 5 and 10 and you think, these guys, they're not that good. Then you look at the numbers they've put in and say, they're not actually that bad, actually. Fouled back, stays 1 and 2. And the fear with the Red Hawks is, if you're the Lopes, is you look at them and they start feeling good about themselves, start getting on a bit of a roll, and that might even be the fear for the entire Western Athletic Conference. This is a team that was picked to finish first in the conference. Yes, they've had injuries, but they still got a good core nucleus of that team that was picked by the coaches to be the best team in the conference. They get on a roll and play themselves into the WAC tournament. They could do some damage. The 1-2. Strike 3 called. The Lopes got a close one to go their way, and there's 2 outs. Struzma could not pull the trigger on that one. So it looks like Andrews is going to try to do it himself here. He struck out the first batter, gave up the bunt single, and then the E5, put runners at second and third, strikes out Struzma, and now Dalton Hurd at the plate. Singled and scored back in the 5th. Had a couple ground outs in the second and third, so he's 1 for 3. And now Andrews wants to talk to his catcher. So Meyer's going to trot out there. Coach Stankiewicz had jumped off that bench he sits on, but now he's sitting back down again. Rich Dorman standing up near Jake Repovich and Ethan Ivanko down at the end of the dugout. Coach Stankiewicz sitting on that bench right there, and Bordas and Wallace, the assistant coaches, down there as well. But it looks like they're going to give Josh another batter here, the lefty-righty matchup. Deegan Hart still warming down in the pen. So now they're going to give 4 wide to load the bases. And they want to throw to Chase Wells, who tripled his last time up. There's Coach Stankiewicz. See Jake Repovich, tomorrow's starter. To Coach Stankiewicz's right, our left. But different here. You can't just put up the 4 fingers and say 4 wide. You actually got to throw the pitches. So now that's going to load the bases. 1 more pitch, and you'll have good speed on the base paths with Perrin at third, Lively at second, and Dalton Hurd at first. So Wells was the last batter that Jake Wong faced, and he had a triple, and he's not going to get a chance to hit here. It'll be Michael Ciancio. So Chase Wells triples, and he's 2 for 3 off of Jake Wong, but he's not going to get a chance to face the lefty. So Ciancio comes in to pinch hit. First pitch, a strike. Well, the Lopes don't go from Andrews to the righty, Deegan Hart. They keep it right here, and the first pitch is a strike to Ciancio. Strike 2.
Some really solid pitches here from Andrews. He really needs to be consistent and solid with the bases loaded here.
Ciancio, 3 homers, 17 RBI, hitting .236, has 89 at-bats. So he's no stranger to this situation, but he's down no balls and 2 strikes. With the bases loaded, his team up 7-4. Swing and a miss, he struck him out on 3. Well, Josh Andrews throws 4 wide for the intentional pass. They put up the pinch hitter to go lefty-righty, and Josh goes right at him and strikes him out on 3 pitches. He ends up striking out the side and stranding the bases loaded. Maybe that gets the Lopes going. 7-4 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Lopes trail it by 3.
Spend summer 2017 working towards your future career by investing in yourself with the Career Impact Center's jobs and internship opportunities. Find your own career-making opportunity today at gcu.edu/career services. That's gcu.edu/career services.
Well, Josh Andrews started the 6th inning. His first full inning of work, he came on in relief in the 5th. His first full inning of work, he struck out Anderchuk. He gave up the bunt single, a beautiful bunt by Curtis Perrin. Then Lively bunted one down the third base line. An errant throw by Ty Wyatt put runners at second and third. He struck out Struzma, did Andrews. He intentionally walked Dalton Hurd. They put in the pinch hitter, Ciancio, and he struck him out on 3 pitches. So he struck out the side with the bases loaded. You don't see that very often. Strike out the first guy and the last guy, and in between they load the bases. But that is what happened, and the Lopes trail at 7-4. It'll be Signs, Wyatt, and Meyer due up. Now, Deegan-Hart had been warming up, so if they want to go that direction, they could definitely. But Lucas Chapman, he faced one batter coming on in relief in the 5th. Got the ground out by Pavlica to the shortstop Anderchuk. First pitch in there for strike one.
I would be surprised to see GCU take out Andrews so far. He's proven himself that he's pitching well, so I think he'll see another inning before Hart maybe comes in.
Boy, that was some good pitching by Josh Andrews. Right, great breaking pitch by Chapman. Oh, and 2 the count to Signs. Signs had a double. Back in the second. Up high and laid off it. He ground out to second in the 4th. Seven runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 8 left on base for Seattle. Ground ball to second. Perrin fires to first for the second time in his last 2 at-bats. Signs leads off the inning with the ground out to second. That'll bring up Tyler Wyatt. The Lopes, 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, and 4 left on base. Wyatt had a sac fly in the second to produce the first run of the ball game, singled in the 4th, and then was picked off caught stealing to end that inning. Fastball in the outside corner for a strike. Well, both relievers seem to be sharp. Andrews for GCU and Chapman pitching nicely here. He's retired the first 2 batters he's faced and looks to be pinpointing his fastball, except for that one, which is way off, 1-1.
Wyatt's been really successful in conference play. He's among the top 10 in conference play, batting at .369.
The 1-1. Down the right field line, foul. That's going to get out of play into the bullpen of the Red Hawks. Yeah, Ty was having trouble finding a place to play early in the season. Played a little second base, first base, moved into third base. And then once Preston Pavlica went down, Kona Quiggle got the majority of the starts. But then they decided to give Ty a try out there in left. And he acquitted himself nicely and started hitting the ball. And he hasn't left the lineup since. The 1-2, fouled back.
It's really nice to have a player that's really versatile, that if injury happens, like with Pavlica, a player like Wyatt can go and shift around, and it really helps Stankiewicz.
Found a home in left field. They got him at third here today. He's played a little shortstop and second base as well. The 1-2 up high, 2-2. We joked about it in the first couple innings and talked to the coach about it, but yeah, he played every infield position but catcher last year. Has played left field. He's just missing center field, right field, and catcher. And he is the 4th-string catcher for the Lopes. Wow, that one just missed, too. That was a really nice pitch, 3-2 the count. We've seen that pitch called a ball most of the night, and it's been fairly aggravating. Wyatt, I think, was a little fooled on that one. The count goes 3-2. Chapman's going to have to come to him. The pitch. Hung that one, fouled it back. Murphy coming back, but that's going to get out of play. Yeah, Wyatt has been a bullpen catcher down there because you got Barnes, McDonald, and Josh Meyer your 3 catchers, but if you did end up for some reason running out of those guys, Wyatt would be the guy. 3-2. That one ripped into left. Is it going to get down? It is. So another base hit for Tyler Wyatt. He is 2 for 2. Driven in a run and been on base a couple of times. Now let's see what he does on the base paths. Josh, a strikeout and a fly out to center. We were informed after I was commenting on how great Josh Meyer's walk-up music is. As you see Ty Wyatt here, ripping that base hit into left to put a man on first with 1 out here. Lopes trailing at 7-4. I was commenting on that, and we found out via Twitter that it wasn't even his idea. It was his roommate's idea to select this music. That one just missed inside.
Roommate's got good taste.
Roommate does have good taste, so we'll give him the credit. You know who you are. We don't have to say your name. Want to know the count to Josh. Ty takes his lead. Very aggressive base runner, not going. That one ripped. Little hopper off of the body. They flip it over to second for the out. Wyatt retired. Has a little word to say to Andrewchuk. So they can only get the force out. That was laced, and Andrewchuk, had he come up with it cleanly, I think he was thinking about stepping on the bag and firing across for the easy double play, but that was hit very hard. And so Wyatt retired on the fielder's choice. Mumper at the plate now. Mumper walked and scored his last time up, flew out to center in the 3rd. Throw over, and Josh dives back. Josh, a very aggressive base runner, too. Not your typical base stealer, although he is 1 for 3 in stolen bases, but pretty aggressive base runner out there. We're in the 6th. Lopes trailed by 3, 7-4. Way outside. Mumper trying to flip the lineup here. Austin Bull on deck, taking swings from the left side against the righty on the mound. Pretty good gap down the right field line. Well outside, 2-0. And Mumper hitting .206 on the year, 2 homers and 15 RBI. And a visit to the mound by the pitching coach, Elliot Kribbe. And nobody's warmed in the pen, so this is just a visit for Kribbe to maybe let his freshman know something he sees. Coach Stankiewicz in our pregame was very complimentary of the pitching coach, Elliot Kribbe, and the staff he's building up here in Seattle. Kribbe has his say. Jogs back to the dugout. So a 2-0 count with 2 outs to Mumper. Josh Meyer at first. Still nobody warming up in the pen down there. Mumper's got long ball power. We've seen him hit a couple out. The 2-0. Chapman steps off and holds the ball up to chase Meyer back. Lucas ready to go from the stretch. The 2-0. Inside corner, 2-1.
Yeah, although Mumper's a defensive player, he does have a couple home runs against his native state of the Northern Colorado, the Bears there.
He loves hitting either in Colorado or against a team from Colorado, it seems.
We should make a schedule based on that. Maybe we can get some more runs and success there.
We should invite a few more Colorado baseball teams in town.
That's right.
2-1. And that one hits him. Tried to go inside again. Mumper on for the second time in as many plate appearances. He walked in the 5th and was just now hit by a pitch. So top of the order. See if the Lopes can get a little 2-out rally going. Maybe catch Seattle sleeping with nobody warm in the pen. Yeah, to that point, I mean, how many teams are there that play baseball in Division I in the state of Colorado? Just UNC, right? Boulder doesn't play and Denver doesn't play, right? Colorado State doesn't play.
It's a bummer for Mumper.
Yeah, bummer for Mumper. He's got to get all his home runs against UNC. Air Force? Okay, there's 2. We'll think of more. Bull at the plate, doubled his last time up. That one hit pretty well. Going back, Morgan looks up, and it's gone! He snuck it over the wall. That took everybody by surprise, and we're tied 7-7. Are you kidding me? The Lopes have said all along that they thought Austin Bull was going to develop some power, and he did it on the first pitch he saw. Oh, my. He hit it well, but I sure didn't think he got it up and over the wall. His first career home run as a Lope. And it ties the ball game at 7. We knew he hit it hard, but we're not used to seeing him hit it over the wall. Morgan on the run, looks up and it snuck over. We got a whole new ball game here.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a routine catch, but that ball just kept going and it sailed over the wall there and snuck over. Lopes able to capitalize. 7-7 ball game here.
Well, he hit one to the wall on that double. Originally, it was an error, and they switched it to a double. He hit it all the way to the wall. Now, LaRouge grounds one down, covering in time to get the out, but the damage done. Austin Bull coming up from the left side, showing the power. We wondered they might catch Seattle sleeping. Had nobody warming up in the pen. They were just cruising along, and Chapman hung one, and Bully hit it out. 7-7 ball game as we go to the 7th. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV and the WAC Digital Network.
I'm Bethany. I'm a junior at GCU, studying Christian Studies with a minor in psychology. Really what made me fall in love with GCU was the ministry aspect that they have here. I love all of the different community service opportunities that there are here. Students are making a huge impact on the Valley just through painting the Valley purple. It really means a lot to people in Phoenix to hear that somebody's from GCU. It almost gives you like credentials because they know that you're a good kid and that you're gonna go far. I have the privilege of bringing 7th and 8th grade students onto campus every week. I get to present to them a college readiness program. It honestly makes a huge difference in so many of their lives. I also am part of a mentorship program, so I am a mentor for a girl here in Phoenix. I get to walk her through life just like people are walking me through life. I definitely think GCU is preparing me for my future and teaching students and being a difference maker in the lives of other people.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Austin Bull collects his first career homer as an Antelope, drives in 3 with 2 outs in the 6th. 7-7 ball game as we go to the 7th, and new pitcher on the mound for the Lopes, Deegan Hart. Deegan, a 9.45 ERA, a record of 0-6. In 33 1/3, he's given up 42 hits, 40 runs, 35 earned. He's walked 19 and struck out 28. Opposition in 311 against him. We've seen him struggle mightily, but we've also seen him come in and be dominant at times. Just have to wait and see what we get. Electric fastball. He has the scouts salivating after his junior college career and coming over here to play for GCU. That man right there, Austin Bull, showing the power, sneaking one over the wall. We're waiting for the official distance on that home run. 358 on that one. Sutton, Morgan, and Murphy, bottom third. So Austin Bull showing the power. And you can tell as that one, they checked down and he went around. Strike one. You can tell Austin has not hit a lot of home runs because he rounded the bases at a very speedy clip. Deegan Hart, 6'3", 215, out of Glendale, Arizona, played at Sandra Day O'Connor and then Yavapai Community College. Ground ball right side, going to get through the right side for a base hit. So Sutton collects his first base hit of the ball game. Leadoff man aboard, and they're going to get action in the pen here in the 7th. Imagine they might just go right to Franks, right? Yeah, AJ's warming up. Well, ideally, they'd like to get a couple out of Deegan and get a run or two and then let Mick close it out. You see Sutton, that pitch, just up high, about thigh high, and he knew what to do with it. Jeffrey Morgan at the plate. Well, when you talk to the coaching staff, Austin Bull, of course, having a fantastic season for GCU as a leadoff man. And they said the only thing about his game that they just want him to do more of is hit with a little more power, but they felt like it was going to come as he continued to mature. And so maybe this is a bit of a coming out party for Austin Bull. That one a little squibbed foul. 0-1 the count to Morgan. He certainly, the at-bat before, he doubled to the base of the wall about 380 feet, and then he hit that one 358 feet over the wall for a game-tying home run. The Lopes have now come back from a 5-run deficit to knot it at 7 here in the 7th. Seattle, though, keeping the pressure on, looking to respond. Breaking pitch misses, ball 1, as he was squaring around the bunt was Morgan. That's the thing about this Seattle team in this ball game. Every time the Lopes come back a bit here and there, they always have a response for him, it seems. Just applying the pressure. Sutton takes his lead, squared to bunt, almost hit him. 2-1. Well, Franks is more than likely ready, but you really don't want Deegan to come in and face 2 batters and have to go to AJ, but you definitely don't want to get in a hole here either. 2-1 strike to count. Pitch to Morgan, not bunting. Pops it right side. Foul territory. Evans coming over. Has a beat on it. Makes the grab. 1 down. Catcher Kyler Murphy. Murphy, a local boy. Peoria, Arizona, and Liberty High School. A lot of good ball players come out of Liberty High. Got Ty Wyatt on the squad right now for GCU out of Liberty High. And, of course, the great Paulie Panachone, shortstop for the Lopes for 4 consecutive seasons, drafted by the Washington Nationals, playing in their organization out of Liberty High School as well. Chop foul by Murphy. So Wyatt and Murphy, both sophomores, obviously playing time at Liberty High together. And don't be confused, Preston Pavlica played at Liberty High School as well, but that was a Liberty High School in Las Vegas, Nevada.
A lot of Liberty High Schools.
A lot of Liberty. You know, America.
That's right.
A lot of Liberty High Schools, Freedom High Schools. Are there Freedom High Schools? Maybe not. Freedom College, Freedom something or other. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Big cut by Murphy. A lot of John F. Kennedy high schools in this country.
Right.
A lot of Martin Luther King Jr. high schools.
I'm sure there's a couple Freedoms.
I think there is. Find that out, Josh. How many Freedom high schools are there in the country?
Yeah, this is important information.
5-ish. Deegan Hart throws over. Ooh, off the glove of Evans. Sutton unable to advance. Boy, Ian's struggled with those throws over his head.
I wonder if he thought he saw Gary at first.
Yeah. 30-ish Freedom high schools in America. Probably more Liberties, I would imagine. 0-2 count to Murphy. 98 Liberty high schools in the country. The 0-2. 1-2. So what does that say? We believe more in liberty than freedom? Oh, there's a Libertyville, too. I grew up just in Kearney, Missouri, just down the street from Liberty, Missouri. The whole city was called Liberty. The 1-2. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Meyer. He jumps up, but Sutton going nowhere. I mean, he had a chance to advance to second after that ball went off the glove of Evans on the pickoff, and he wisely stayed put at first. So Murphy has got it back to a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Kyler hitting a $194 on the year, 1 homer, 5 RBI. The 2-2. GCU looking for a ground ball here. That one hit well. It hit well to right. Murphy might have got one, and he did. Wow. Kyler Murphy comes home, gets his second homer of the year, and once again, Seattle takes the lead 9-7.
Yeah, you were talking about how every time the Lopes do well, Seattle responds, and yet again, after the Lopes respond with 3 runs to make it 7-7, Seattle then goes on top and gets a 2-run home run there.
Well, that one was a no-doubter off the bat of the lefty Kyler Murphy, and Deegan Hart talking to himself. He's got that electric fastball, but as they tell you, you know, if that thing's straight, anybody can hit it. What's the famous saying that for a major leaguer could time a bullet if you give him enough looks at it. And that one was a little low, went down and got it. Good-looking swing by Kyler Murphy. I think he knew it, too. He was a little slower out of the box. Wasn't his first home run in his career. That's going to be it for Deegan Hart. And, well, Lopes tried to get him to bridge the way to A.J. Franks in the past. They've gone straight to A.J. in the 7th. Hart gives up a couple of runs on the 2-run homer in just a third of an inning. And now, once again, Seattle up 9-7.
Yeah, you almost wonder if keeping Josh Andrews for one more inning would have been a good choice then transitioning to A.J. Franks. But Deegan Hart going in there and struggling just a little bit, not exactly getting his stride that the Lopes needed or wanted here in the top of the 7th.
Well, Gary gave it a look, trotted out there, but that one, pretty sure that was gone off the bat by Kyler Murphy. So A.J. Franks, your new pitcher, and A.J.'s been great for GCU. 2.76 ERA, a record of 4-0. Does have one save in 45 2/3, 43 hits, 20 runs, 14 earned. He's walked 7 and struck out 26. Opposition hitting .253 against A.J. And he is, as I mentioned, been really the go-to guy for the Lopes out of the bullpen. Huge part of this 16-2 record for the Lopes. In conference play, he's got a 0 ERA, a record of 3-0. In 22 1/3 innings in WAC conference play, 14 hits, 5 runs, none earned. He's walked 4 and struck out 14. Opposition in $182 in the conference. This is a big game for Seattle, and they've really come to play here in this series. They're trying to reel in UTRGV and Sac State, try to get into that tournament. Because you can see they've got a good team. And if they can just get into that tournament, they could make some noise. The way the WAC is shaking out this year, New Mexico State looks to be the best team by a bit going into that tournament. And then everybody else looks to be anybody's ball game from that point on, since the Lopes can't play. Top of the order, Griffin Anderchuk. Anderchuk struck out his last time up against Josh Andrews. Near point, Andrews has been the most effective of the pitchers in the ball game. A.J., first pitch, strike 1. Nobody on base for A.J. as he comes in with 1 out here in the 7th, and that's because the runner who was on base, Sutton, who reached on a single up Deegan Hart, came in to score on the blast over the wall and right by Kyler Murphy, the Liberty High School grad. Little squib shot to second. Fielded, pitched, and that's the out. Well, that's the thing with A.J., boy. It's just tough to pick up the ball. He's got that submarine delivery, and when you're used to seeing it come 3/4 over the top, it takes you a while to adjust to that arm angle. Well, to your point, Aaron, as Curtis Perrin steps up to the plate, Andrews threw an inning and 2/3, gave up 1 hit, walked 2, but struck out 3, faced 9 batters, 35 pitches, and 20 were strikes. Hart came in through a third of an inning. First pitch in there for a strike to Perrin. Third of an inning, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. They were both earned runs. He faced 3 batters through 13 pitches, and 7 of those were strikes. Perrin fouls that back. Well, Hart's definitely got the talent and the ability and got that live arm, but boy, he just has not been able to put it together this year. Very frustrating year for the transfer student. Perrin 2 for 3. Been on base 3 times, a walk, a couple of base hit singles, and drove in a couple.
Yeah, apparently that really nice placed bunt last time he was up to bat.
Yeah, he really did. Got the base hit single up the middle in the third to put 2 runs across. Big swing and a miss. He struck him out. Well, A.J. comes in and gets the job done, but the damage is done by the Peoria, Arizona native Kyler Murphy. A 2-run shot gives Seattle the 9-7 lead. Stretch time here at Brazel. Shannon Kelly, the PA announcer, going to lead the crowd in the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Lopes trail by 2, going to the bottom of the 7th.
The World Hip Hop Dance Championship is coming to Phoenix. More than 4,000 of the world's best dancers from over 50 countries will come together to compete in this week-long event that all comes together for the championship finals on August 12th at GCU Arena. Tickets are now on sale at gcuarena.com.
Well, Kyler Murphy back behind the dish. He's sure he's got some fans in a cheering section here because he graduated from Liberty High in Peoria, Arizona. And he got the 2-run shot in the top of the 7th. It's a 9-7 lead. And a new pitcher on the bump. Number 22, Tyler Oldenburg, the sophomore, 5'11", out of Boise, Idaho, and Bishop Kelly High School. Take a look at his numbers. Oldenburg, this is his 15th appearance in 35 2/3 innings. He's got a 4.04 ERA and a record of 2-1. Getting up 38 hits, 18 runs, 16 earned, walked 9, struck out 31. Opposition in 270 against him. 7 extra base hits against the lefty, 5 doubles, and 2 home runs. So they bring in a lefty, and he will face 3, 4, and 5. Heart of the order: Evans, Schwartz, and Pavlica. So righty, lefty, righty, due up. Well, an exciting 6th, and then top of the 7th, a 3-run homer by Austin Bull, his first career shot at Grand Canyon. That 3-run homer tied the game at 7, but it was short-lived. Third batter of the 7th inning. 2-run shot by Murphy, and a 9-7 ball game here. 10 hits for the visitors, 7 for the home team. 1 error for Seattle, 2 for GCU. 8 left on for Seattle, so it could be worse. 4 left on for the Lopes. Evans at the plate hitting .333 on the season. Oldenburg's first pitch misses ball 1. Oldenburg is the 3rd pitcher of the ball game for Seattle. In there for a strike. Same 2 teams tomorrow night at 7. Jake Repovich on the hill for GCU. That fastball inside, swing and a miss, 1 ball and 2 strike. Jansen Junk on the mound for Seattle. So a righty-lefty matchup. Repovich 5-3, a 3.58 ERA. Fouled off. Junk 5-5, a 5.28 ERA. A couple of juniors doing battle tomorrow night at 7. That's going to be on CW6, ESPN3, and GCU TV. Chopper. Perrin. Ooh, a high hop, and it plays him. Goes off his glove. Boy, that one jumped up and took a bit of a weird hop over and off the glove. Perrin came in, and boy, this plays really well, this infield, but man, we've seen some weird hops and some choppers. That one goes over the glove, and Evans aboard. We're bringing up Garrison Schwartz. First pitch high. Ball 1. So Evans reaches on the E4. Strikeout in the first inning. Evans struck out in the first, but singled in the third, and now on with the air. So he's been on 2 out of 4 plate appearances. That one misses, 2-0 to Gary. Schwartz has been on 2 times as well, a walk and a hit by pitch. He also ground out in the third. So leadoff man on. Lopes trailing by 2. Oldenburg fouled off. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Garrison Schwartz hitting .277 against lefties, .287 against righties. It's not a huge drop off for Gary on the season. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Pavlica on deck. Oldenburg got the first man to hit an easy ground ball, but hopped over the glove of the second baseman Parent. 2-2. In the air to center. Hurd starts back or in. Now he drifts back, and he goes down to the ground making the grab. So every outfielder has had trouble with the fly balls. It looked like just routine fly balls. I'm not sure if the wind's pushing them or maybe they're just not seeing them very well in this night sky. Either way, Hurd stays with it and makes the catch for out number 1. Pavlica now at the plate. Preston looking for his first base hit of the night. Flew out to right, flew out to left, ground out to short. Evans is at first, reached on the air. Throw over, and Evans back. Ian's got good speed. Not really going to run a lot, but when he does, he's successful. 3 for 3 in stolen bases. Foul back. He's got a piece of it. Now the bullpen's quiet for both squads. Oldenburg going to be the guy for Seattle. In there for a strike, 0-2. Would imagine that Franks is going to go as long as they need him to here, although you'd hate to put a lot of pitches on that arm on a Friday night because you're going to need him the rest of the weekend, and you got the midweek games too. But AJ's got what they like to call kind of the rubber arm there and can pitch a lot of innings. 1 ball, 2 strike to count. He is the lone senior, AJ Franks, on this squad. He'll be recognized on Senior Day. He'll be on Wednesday. 1-2 pitch. Evans takes his lead. In the air to center. Hurd starts back. Now going back. Now making the grab. I don't think they're reading the ball very well with this backdrop or something. Something's bothering him because once again, Hurd kind of stopped, held his ground, and then sprinted back to make the grab.
Yeah, it's taking them a little bit longer to judge the ball and get an accurate read, but they're making the catches, so that's what's important there.
They're getting the job done, but they're probably scaring their coaching staff and dugout a little bit every now and again.
Just a little bit.
Pavlica 0 for 4 now, so Greg Signs at the plate. Signs, double his first time up in the second, and then ground out to second in the 4th inning, ground out to second in the 6th inning. Down low, Murphy. Nice block and a snag. Greg in .296 on the year. Couple of homers. 7 RBI. We could use another 2-out homer. Got one to finish off the 6th inning. Austin Bullitt, 2-out, 3-run homer. And when a line drive past Sutton is going to go down the line and find the corner. Evans on his horse. They're going to have to hold him at third. Second double of the ball game for Greg Signs. And Lopes have the tying run in scoring position with 2 outs. Well, Signs a couple of ground outs to second. Little weak ground outs. Sandwiched in between a couple of doubles. And that's why you got Signs in there as the DH. 2 doubles on the day.
Yeah, it was a really pretty hit placement-wise, and Lopes able to capitalize. Runners now in scoring position here, 9-7.
Ty Wyatt, a sac fly in the 2nd, single in the 4th, a single in the 6th. Single here would more than likely tie the ball game. Oldenburg from the stretch with runners at second and third. Big sweeping breaking pitch, strike one. Wyatt hitting .317, having a fabulous sophomore campaign. 1 homer and 16 RBI. Wyatt coming into this ball game, and that one missed outside, hitting .299 against righties, but .324 against lefties. Now it's Seattle's turn in the dugout to get on the home plate umpire a bit. They thought that was a strike on the outside corner. The 1-1 to Wyatt. That one did catch the corner. Took a little bit off, brought it in a little bit. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Ty Wyatt. The 1-2. Signs takes a big lead at second. Down low, 2-2. Now he's going to have to come to him. And Signs, a good base runner. Decent speed out there. Maybe not the fleetest of foot, but he runs well, and he's gotten a big lead out there. Perrin not even trying to keep him close. Neither is Anderchuk. His secondary lead is massive. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch with 2 outs. Fouled back. Wyatt had a good cut at it. Josh Meyer on deck.
Yeah, a lot of pressure here on Wyatt. 2 outs, almost a full count here. Runners on second and third here. Lopes need a couple runs here, so if the Lopes end up losing, this will be a point in the game where it could have turned around.
The 2-2 again from Oldenburg. Outside. Count goes full, 3-2. So now, see how close Oldenburg wants to get. He's working that outside corner. Got Meyer on deck. Nobody warming in the pen, so it's his ball game right now. The payoff pitch. Breaking pitch. Ooh, just missed. Ooh, boy. That one looked pretty good, too. But Seattle fans, if you're watching, you're kind of feeling our pain now. Bases are loaded. Boy, there have been some pretty decent pitches by both squads' pitchers that have just not gone their way. And it's really impacted the game. So bases loaded for Josh Meyer. Wyatt took a couple of really close pitches, fouled one off, and now he's on first. Greg Signs is on second. Evans at third. Struck out looking his first time up, flew out to center, reached on a fielder's choice and scored. Looking for his first base hit of the ball game. Goes after the first one and fouls it off. Big rip on that one. You saw Coach Stankiewicz pull him a little ways down the third base line and chat with him. Lopes need a 2-out base knock here. Gapper, with the speed of Wyatt, would give him the lead. Base hit should tie it up. The 0-1. Missed down low. 1-1. Mumper on deck for GCU. The pitch. Ground ball to Chopper. Anderchuk's got it. Going to step on the bag himself. The force out ends the inning. Oldenburg gets out of one here, and the Lopes waste a golden opportunity with the bases loaded and 2 outs. We've completed 7 ball games. Seattle with the lead. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV and the WAC Digital Network.
At GCU, earning your degree online doesn't have to be without the college experience. To find your purpose, it takes support from those around you. GCU's leadership offers over 3 decades of experience in delivering real-world degree programs online. GCU's online class size averages less than 17 students with full-time faculty. Find your purpose online at Grand Canyon University. Call us today at 855-428-7692.
Hey Phoenix, it's Thunder Dan Marley, head coach at Grand Canyon University. Coming to GCU was a great move for me. Join Antelope Nation by enrolling as an evening student at our beautiful campus in the heart of Phoenix. Earn your bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree to take your career to the next level. Engage with industry expert instructors in small classroom settings where you can get the support you need to excel. Scholarships available. See you on campus. Go Lopes.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/evening.
9-7 ball game. As we go to the 8th inning, Lopes had the bases loaded, couldn't get the runs across. Really, it's been the home runs. A 3-run shot by Bull in the 6th and a 2-run shot by Murphy in the 7th. The last 5 runs scored with the long ball to right field, and it's a 9-7 lead for Seattle. Seattle trying to win their 6th game in the WAC and play themselves into the tournament. The Lopes at 16-2, trying to just stay in front of New Mexico State and win the WAC crown for the second time in 4 years. Franks on the mound now. He'll face Lively, Struzma, and Hurd, 3, 4, and 5. It was Deegan Hart who came in the 7th, gave up a single, got a pop out, and then the 2-run homer. AJ came in and got the next 2 out. So he's retired the only 2 batters he's faced. Here's his first full inning, and he'll face Lively. Misses on the outside corner, ball 1.
Disappointing that the Lopes couldn't capitalize on a full base.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, there were 2 outs, so you needed a 2-out base knock, but boy, you kind of felt the momentum as that one swung on a miss.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on the sophomore, Oldenburg, too.
He made some really nice pitches. I mean, it was probably 3 or 4 pitches he could have got a strike called and didn't get him. And we saw that with Jake Wong as well, but made some nice pitches. Chop foul.
Nasty breaking ball that really dropped.
Well, Lopes have come back. They came back and knotted at 7, so they still got some time, but just got 6 outs left. The trick here is AJ's just got to keep it a 2-run ball game. He's been the best pitcher out of the pen for the Lopes, although Vorhoff has pitched really well in conference play. Misses outside. 2-2. Bakersfield, Chicago State have both already won at home. Fouled off. Both put 6 runs on the board tonight. And Bakersfield won 6-0 over Northern Colorado. Chicago State won 6-2 over Sac State. New Mexico State, the only road team thus far in the WAC to win, 24-1 over Utah Valley. The 2-2. And look and check. He didn't check. Yeah, he checked his swing. He didn't go around, but that pitch broke in, but almost looked like it might have caught the inside part of the plate. It did not. So the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The only thing you worry about if you're New Mexico State, man, 24 runs in a ball game. Did you use all your runs for the whole series in that one night? Up the middle, base hit. And boy, that was just fighting that pitch off. And Lively, the freshman, gets another base hit. His first, or on board for another time, his first base hit. He walked and scored, and he reached on an air. Boy, just fighting that one off. On board for the 3rd time in 5 plate appearances.
That's exactly what the Red Hawks want to do. They want to continue to keep bringing pressure and saying we're not going to stop hitting. We're not going to continue to keep scoring more runs in this. Really play aggressive in this ball game.
Struzman at the plate. He struck out looking his last time up. Doubled in 3 runs in the 5th. Ground out to short in the 3rd and struck out in the 1st. Struzman hitting .310 on the year. The bunt, foul tipped, strike 1.
How much do you practice bunting with the submarine pitcher,
Not very often, I'd imagine. That's a good point. This is a guy who, Struzman, has 5 homers. He's got 13 extra base hits out of 53 hits. And you're asking your cleanup guy to bunt to run over to get 1 more on the board. See if they ask him again. They do. The 0-1. He puts it down. They might have a play at second. They're going to go to second. The throw sails. Mumper can't control it. Now they have a play at third. The throw there. They're going to get him. Nicely done by Pavlica. Liberty High School, Nevada to Liberty High School, Peoria, Arizona. And the runner Lively got a little too greedy.
I bet that felt good for Pavlica. Really extending the arm there, cranking it out to third base. That's always a great payoff, though, when you can get your throw to third and get that out for the Lopes.
Well, A.J. Franks took the risky play. He had to play, but the ball sailed on him. He threw it sidearm, it sailed on him, and that man, Preston Pavlica, Johnny on the spot, saves the day and guns down the runner, Lively trying to go to third. Well, it sure looked like on this throw it sailed a bit, and Mumper, I don't know how he missed it. It just might have maybe kind of going into the runner. Couldn't get it, but Pavlica just fires it in there, and the tag applied by Wyatt. Nicely done by Preston Pavlica. And you could see that coming a mile away when he reared and fired. So Struzma, on first with the fielder's choice. One down. Hurd at the plate. Tough guy to double up. Pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. But, boy, what a momentum shift that would be if you could get a little double play here and get your team right back in the dugout. Good aggressive base running by Lively, but just got a little too greedy there. The 0-1. In there for a strike, 0-2. And that is more than likely something that Donnie Harrell, will talk to his freshman about, saying, hey, look, I get it. I love the aggression, but had you stayed at second, Hurd would have bunted, and we'd had runners on second and third with one out. As it is now, get a little momentum shift there. So you didn't need to be necessarily that aggressive in that situation.
Yeah, Lively has some good base running. He led his high school with 28 steals there, so he's trying to carry that over.
One play for Mumper just in time to get the speedy Hurd on the slow roller. Struzma moves up to second. There's 2 outs. Well, that's the thing for those guys. I mean, you definitely would rather have an aggressive base runner, an aggressive player, than a guy who's going to sit back and kind of wait. Max Modeste at the plate. Batting for Michael Ciancio. Ciancio came in and pinch hit for Wells. So Modeste now at the plate. Left that inning sophomore. Pitch missed outside, ball 1. Modeste played a lot last year as a freshman, did really well. This year he's just struggled to get the bat going, hitting a $128 in 47 at-bats, 4 homers, 26 strikeouts. So either a strikeout or a home run, it seems to be. And a lot more strikeouts. Ooh, late call on the strike. We'll take it. 1-1. Two outs. AJ trying to get the Lopes in the dugout here in the 8th. It'll be Mumper, then the top of the order for GCU. Big swing. You can see why so many strikeouts. That pitch was low and inside, and he really extended, but a big sweeping swing that really didn't go until the ball was already up on top of him. So AJ, pitch away from getting out of this inning that started with a leadoff base hit and then looked like you can have runners on first and second with nobody out after the error on the throw to second. AJ walking off of the mound. And Josh looks out at the third base umpire, who's at second, so he really doesn't have much of an angle to make that call either. He called safe, so Josh pointed down at the first base umpire. Thought, hey, let's poll the guys. Let's try everybody.
Yeah. What happens if he says out, you know?
The 2-2. 2 outs and a man on second. The pitch fouled back our way.
Yeah.
Off the screen. I actually thought the pitch, it was up a bit, but I thought the pitch actually looked like a pretty good pitch as a strike without the check swing, but didn't get the call. So I love that about Josh. He just point to everybody. Take a poll of the crowd if they thought it was a strike. If they asked me, I would have said he went.
Yeah, GCU fans say strike. Seattle says ball.
We outnumber them. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch again. That one up a bit too high. 3-2. 9-7 lead for Seattle. Over 3 hours into this game. Strike 3 called, and Modeste not turning around to look at the umpire. did not like the call, and now he's still barking. The dugout's barking, and the home plate umpire is hollering into the dugout. I believe it's Donnie Harrell. Harrell's been run a few times in his career, and you know what? He's actually got a pretty good beef. If you're not going to call the other one's high, that one might have been high too, but the Lopes get the call. Modest strikes out, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. 9-7, Seattle with the lead. The Lopes have Mumper, and then the top of the order coming up.
Stay cool this summer with iced tea, coffee, smoothies from Grand Canyon Beverage Company. Open weekdays this summer in the Student Union in Canyon 49.
Mumper is due up, and then the top of the order. So Mumper, Bull, and LaRouge. And take a look in the dugout there. The starter tonight just didn't quite have it. Jake Wong talking to Greg Sines. See Greg Spence, the trainer in the background there. He's the one with the beard, by the way. Jake just didn't have it. Went 4 in the 3rd. Tell you, Josh Andrews came in and pitched really well, and the wheels fell off a bit for the Lopes when Deegan Hart gave up the 2-run homer to the number 9 hole hitter Kyler Murphy, and that's where we stand right now. 9-7, 9 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, and 9 left on base for Seattle. 7 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors, and 7 left on for GCU. So both teams with that 9 left on and 7 could have taken control of this game. The Lopes left the bases loaded to win the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and Mumper at the plate. Mumper flew out to center his first time up, but he's been on base and scored the last 2 times up in the 5th and 6th. He walked in the 5th, and he was hit by a pitch in the 6th. He scored both times. Looks like both bullpens are silent here. Oldenburg down 2-0 in the count here. 2 balls and no strikes. So Oldenburg came in the 7th. Evans reached on an error. Got a couple of flyouts and a double by Sines. A walk to Wyatt on a very close 3-2 pitch, and then got the ground ball to his shortstop to end the inning off of the bat of Josh Meyer. Three and 0. Well, it'll be interesting to see what the Lopes do here. If they're able to plate 3, and imagine that Mick Voroff will jump up and start warming in the pen very quickly. If not, looks like out in there for a strike. If not, it looks like AJ will be back out there to pitch the top of the 9th. See if the Lopes can have another come-from-behind walk-off win.
Yeah, AJ's been doing a good job for the Lopes.
The 3-1. 3-2. And Mumper just taking a lot of pitches here, trying to get aboard. If he does, he'd bring the tying run to the plate. Full count here to Mumper. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Mumper started down 2. Well, John Bullock is an equal opportunity strike caller here. Both benches unhappy, but Mumper strikes out looking. First out of the inning, and Bull at the plate. Bull ground out to third in the first. He walked and scored in the third. He doubled and scored in the 5th, and he had the homer over the right field wall that surprised everybody. His first of his GCU career to tie the game in the 6th. That was short-lived, though, and he's down no balls and 1 strike in the count. One on one. The 1-1. Fouled off. So Bull down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, the good news for the Lopes is, whether it be this inning or the next, they're going to get the heart of the order up with Evans, Garrison, Schwartz, and Preston Pavlica. And Sines if they can get anybody aboard. The 1-2. Fouled off by Bull. Austin Bull, just a quintessential ball player here. I mean, just works on his craft. Says his hobbies are reading, and when you ask him, he says it's reading about baseball is his hobby. Not a bad hobby at all. The pitch. 2-2. Tell the story often, but this is the kid who takes his batting tee and his net with him on the road and strings it up between 2 trees behind the hotel and takes BP. Fouls that one off. We doing some work up in North Dakota last year in the morning and kept hearing this thump, thump, bump, and looked out, and there was Austin in the behind the hotel. Found a couple trees, put his net up, had his tee, and was taking swings from the right and left side about 6 hours before the game started. 2-2. Count goes full 3-2.
Yeah, most hotels don't allow smoking, but I wonder what the legislation is on BP.
Well, up there, he's beautiful. You know, he had all the trees in the back. You could just kind of go out there and string it up, and nobody seemed to care. He'd probably do it down in one of the ballrooms if they'd let him. Payoff pitch. He walked him. Well, Bull's been on his last 4 plate appearances, a couple of walks, a double and a homer, and now the tying run comes to the plate. That also lengthens things out, unless you get a double play here, where probably get Greg Sines back up to the plate again. Still, nobody warming yet. There's a few guys standing around down there in the bullpen, but nobody throwing yet. LaRouge at the plate now. Bull takes a big lead over there. He's heading back to the bag when the pitch came to the plate. Fouled off by Tom. Tom hitting .336 on the year. He's 1 for 3. Flew out to center on a very nice play by Dalton Hurd. He singled in the third, had a sac fly to left for an RBI, and then he ground out to the pitcher. Or a little pop to the pitcher, I should say. Fouls that one off, 0-2. Now they're starting to think about getting loose down there in the pen for Seattle. Righty starting to throw. The 0-2 is 1 out and a man on first. Ground ball up the middle. Will it get through? Andrewchuk's got it. No play. Well, that was a lot just for Andrewchuk to get it. Infield single puts runners at first and second. Now the go-ahead run with the heart of the order coming up to the plate, and the top 2 RBI men on the team, Evans and then Schwartz with 1 out, runners at first and second.
Yeah, great position for the Lopes to be at here at the end of the game here. 9-7, so they're down 2 runs, but they got the heart of the order coming. They got 2 men on base and only 1 out. So a great position to make some plays happen. They didn't get to capitalize on some events in the 7th. Now they're back here in the 8th and have an opportunity yet again to tie up this ball game.
Well, our last 5 runs have scored on home runs. Could Evans do some magic here and give his team a 1-run lead? First pitch from Seattle, down low, ball 1. Evans, 4 homers, 36 RBI. Home run here would tie him with Garrison Schwartz for the team lead. Settle for a base hit and keep the line moving. Big lead at first by LaRouge. Sutton playing behind him. Outside corner, 1-1. Good speed on the base paths with Bull at second and LaRouge at first. And as I mentioned, Tommy not being held on, so he'll get a great jump. He's the tying run, and he's thinking to score on a gapper here. The 1-1. When ripped to short, could be 2. Second for 1. Back to first in the dirt. Nice pick at first base by Sutton. Wow, what a pick by Sutton, the 6-4-3, and that ends the threat. No runs for the Lopes on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 1 man left on base. A great defensive play by the first baseman, Sean Sutton. Converts the 6-4-3, and the Lopes trail by 2 going to the 9th. 9-7 Seattle with the lead. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV and the WAC Digital Network.
There's an exciting new destination for food, fun, and relaxation in the heart of Phoenix. Come to GCU Hotel and Canyon 49 Grill, where our hospitality management students gain hands-on workplace experience and deliver unmatched service right alongside the staff. Enjoy beautiful amenities like the Oasis Resort-style pool, full-service fitness center, and enjoy Canyon 49's modern urban cuisine. From the gaming lawn and patio to the artisanal coffee and teas of GCVC, you'll never want to leave. Play at GCU Championship Golf Course, featuring over 7,200 yards of expansive tees and tree-lined fairways, plus a brand new luxury clubhouse, golf pro shop, and restaurant, all run by golf management students. See why travelers from around the world can't resist the Valley of the Sun. Room rate $79 per night. Visit GCUHotel.com to book your visit today.
Well, Seattle dodging some bullets here and there. A nice 6-4-3 double play and a fantastic pick by the first baseman Sutton. A 9-7 lead. A.J. Frank's back on there. First batter he faces is the aforementioned Sean Sutton. And the first pitch misses, ball one. Chop foul.
Yeah, the Lopes have teased us a couple times thinking that they're going to get some runs on the board and get back in this game tied up at 9-9, but both times Seattle U's been able to get out of it.
Well, you had the bases loaded the inning prior with 2 outs and couldn't get it done. You had runners at first and second with 1 out, and probably the hitter you wanted. I mean, you'd flip a coin between Evans and Schwartz the way they've been playing, and Evans ground into the 6-4-3. Sutton, no, just over the reach. Ty Wyatt into left. Sutton's going to take the big turn, think about 2, but retreat back to first. So second base hit in as many at-bats here. The last 2 at-bats for Sutton. He's aboard. Leadoff man on.
Redhawks are very consistent with their base hits here.
That'll bring up Morgan. See if A.J. Franks can get a ground ball. Maybe the Lopes can flip a little 4-6-3 or 6-4-3 double play here. Got to keep it close. It's a 9-7 lead for the Redhawks. Lopes entered this with a 3.5 game lead over New Mexico State. It's now a 3-game lead as the Aggies have won already today. It was a laugher up in Orem. 24-1 was the final. Gonna bunt. Missed outside, ball 1. Well, Morgan 0 for 3. Strikeout in the second, fly out to center in the fourth, walked in the fifth, popped out in foul territory to Evans at first base his last time up. Bunting again, drops it down, foul. Well, if he doesn't get a good bunt down, we've already seen A.J. Franks more than happy to try to get him out at second, and now you've got a little bit slower runner over there at first than Sean Sutton. Last time they tried to bunt, last inning, with a man on first. Struzma bunted it right back to the pitcher, but AJ's throw to second sailed into shallow center field, and Pavlica foul back again. Morgan can't get the bunt down. See if they have him do it on a 1-2 count, but I doubt it. But Pavlica saves things when he threw out the man trying to go to third. Repovich and Junk throw tomorrow. Do the Lopes have a chance for a comeback here tonight and chance to win the series tomorrow? They're fighting to tie it up tomorrow. The 1-2. Morgan not bunting. Backhanded by Evans. Back to A.J. covering, not in time. Well, they get the lead runner. 3-6 on the putout. Morgan reaches on the fielder's choice. They keep the double play in order, but Kyler Murphy at the plate. Murphy, 2-run shot his last time up. That was against Deegan Hart, the 2-run shot.
It could just be me, but Repovich and Junk sounds like a pretty good band name.
I like it. Hope it'll be a good ball game tomorrow. Both of them juniors. Rep has been pitching very well for GCU, a record of 5-3 and an ERA under 4. Frank's looking for another ground ball, maybe a little more sharply hit at a middle infielder possibly. Timeout called, and that pitch already delivered, but timeout was called. Murphy, 1 for 2, but it's driven into and scored 3 runs. Fouled off. One-handed down there on the ricochet. Murphy walked in that third inning and scored, hit by a pitch in the fifth and scored, and had the 2-run shot in the seventh. AJ, the lone senior on the squad. There goes the runner, swing and a miss, the throw down, and it's wide, and the bag is swiped by Morgan. That kind of took everybody off guard as Morgan steals second. The throw was a little late and wide, and boy, it took Mumper a long time to get over there. Count goes to 1-2 on Kyler Murphy. So Seattle just continually applying pressure throughout this entire ball game. The Lopes have buckled a couple of times. The 0-2. 1-2. One-two pitch, up high, 2-2. You wonder if Franks might be laboring a bit here. 35 pitches in the ball game for AJ. Nobody warming up in the pen, though. See if they can get the Lopes, or see if the Lopes can get to that bottom of the ninth, down 2. Make a little comeback here. The 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. Tipped it into the mitt. So Kyler Murphy retired for the second out of the inning. Top of the order, Griffin Anderchuk.
Shortstop, Griffin Anderchuk.
Anderchuk's had an eventful day here. Ground out to short in the first. He doubled and scored in the third. He singled and scored in the fifth. He struck out in the sixth, and he ground out in the seventh. Should be about 7 hits away from tying the career mark in base hits. Should get it by the time his senior season comes to an end. Leaned out of the way, then tried to lean into that one. Ball 1. Looking ahead, it'll be Garrison Schwartz, Preston Pavlica, and Greg Sines due up for GCU in the bottom of the ninth. Right now trailing by 2. A runner in scoring position. Jeffrey Morgan out there at second with 2 outs. Hits sharply at Bull. Gobbles it up, fires to first, and we go to the ninth with the Lopes down 2. So AJ does his job after coming on in relief in the 7th. He keeps it close. The Lopes still trail at 9-7 as we go to the bottom of the ninth.
GCU Arena is hosting Movement Day, Arizona this September. Movement Day is a gathering of ministry, marketplace, and nonprofit leaders who are passionate about the Phoenix area and the gospel of Jesus. Tickets are available at gcuarena.com. That is gcuarena.com.
Lopes trail it by 2 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for GCU. They will send up Garrison Schwartz, Preston Pavlica, Greg Sines, and Tyler Wyatt if anybody can get on base. New pitcher on the hill, number 38, Zach Wolf. Wolf, the sophomore righty at Dana Hills, California, and Dana Hills High. He was nearly unhittable last year, has scuffled a bit this year. Does have 3 saves, but they kind of moved him around a bit. He was the closer last year, and boy, just did a phenomenal job in his freshman campaign. But they moved him around at times, and he's got a record of 0-7 in 20 appearances. In 41 1/3, he's got a 5.66 ERA, He's given up 49 hits, 27 runs, 26 earned, walked 19 and struck out 37. Opposition hitting .302 against him. So he is having a sophomore slump to say the least, but they go back to him as the closer here in this one, and they'll have to go through Gary, Preston, and Greg Signs here. He wants to get the save in this one.
Yeah, you got to wonder if Wolf's season was kind of motivated by the success Seattle had last year, winning the WAC title. And then this year they kind of had a slump, jumped down to the bottom of the division. And it seems like Wolf's play has jumped down a little bit too.
He's got a chance here to get this 4th save of the year, bring in the righty. He'll face a lefty and a righty, unless we get a pinch hitter at any time. But, of course, Garrison Schwartz will come up here to lead things off here in the 9th. GCU got 1 in the 2nd. Seattle answered with 2 in the top of the 3rd. The Lopes answered with 1 in the bottom of the 3rd to tie it up at 2-2. It stayed that way till the 5th when the wheels fell off for the starter, Jake Wong. He gave up 5 runs in that inning. It was a 7-2 lead. Lopes got 2 back, making it 7-4. 3-run shot with 2 outs in the 6th by Austin Bull. His first career homer at GCU made it a 7-7 ball game. And then Kyler Murphy, the sophomore catcher for Seattle, got a 2-run shot in the 7th, and that's where we stand, 9-7. Seattle up by 2, and they've out hit the Lopes 12-9. Both teams have left a lot of runners on base. Seattle left 10 on. The Lopes have left 8 on. Wolf's first pitch, a strike. The outside corner to Garrison Schwartz. Schwartz walked and scored in the 1st, ground out to 2nd in the 3rd, hit by a pitch in the 5th, and flew out to center in the 7th. And he blasts one to right. Should be a 1-run ball game, and it is. So Garrison Schwartz welcomes Zach Wolf to Brazel Stadium with a solo shot, and the Lopes are down by 1. Another no-doubter off the bat, and the ball is flying out to right. Just a nice, easy swing, and Gary picks up homer number 6 and RBI number 40. Look at this swing. What a beauty. Just good extension. Got the barrel out there and just flew it out to right.
Yeah, you wish the Lopes had a runner in the diamonds, like 2 runs there, but.
Well, maybe they just go back to back to back here and get 3 solo shots in a row and get out of here. Got to get that next run, though. 1-0 count to Pavlica. He's got home run power as well. In there for a strike, 1-1. 3 homers in this one, and it's all been homers to right, and they've all been off the bat of lefties. Murphy and Schwartz, true lefties, and Bull hitting from the left side as a switch hitter. Missed inside, 2-1. Well, the last 6 runs have scored by the home run. 3-run shot by Bull, a 2-run shot by Murphy, and a solo shot by Garrison Schwartz. 2-1. Good hitters count here. Pitch to Pavlica. Little chopper. Anderchuk's got it. Hustles the throw in time. So Pavlica now 0 for 5 on the day. Greg Signs due up, but we're going to get a pinch hitter, Zach Malice. So Zach Malice had been the starter at 3rd, had been scuffling throughout the year in and out, and he gave way to Ty Wyatt at 3rd base, but he'll come in and pinch hit here. Now Elliot Kribbe is going to visit the mound and chat with his closer, Zach Wolf. And I say closer maybe in quotes because they've already got somebody up warming up in the pen. You typically don't do that when you got a closer. Now he's coming and sitting down, but they've got 3 guys out there still. So Malice now going to come have a word with his coach. As Elliot Kribbe done talking with his pitcher. Malice does hit a .194 against lefties. He hits .297 against righties. So now Coach Stankiewicz has the matchup he wants, and Malice at the plate. 1 homer, 15 RBI, hitting .270 on the season. One out, nobody on. First pitch, ball one. Ty Wyatt on deck. That homer by Schwartz ensures that Wyatt will get a chance. One 0. Check swing. Tapper foul, 1-1. Lopes had 2 walk-offs against UTRGV Saturday and Sunday. Those are the last WAC games at home. The 1-1. Ground ball right side. Pitcher Wolf covering the throw. Did he get him? He did. And Malice retired. Lopes down to their final out, and Ty Wyatt coming to the plate. Well, the first baseman Sutton ranged far in the hole. That was the second baseman Parents play the whole way. And Wolf, a nice job covering. That's a harder play than it looks, hitting the pitcher as he's heading. You just throw it to the bag, and it's the pitcher's job to get there. So Wolf trying to close it out after the leadoff solo shot by Schwartz made it a 1-run ball game. Wyatt trying to keep it going. Tie 2 for 2.
Yeah,
Fouled
kind of
back.
an unfortunate place for the Lopes to be in, especially after making some good progress in the 7th and 8th innings, and they definitely had opportunity to get some runs on the board and tie this game up. And Schwartz doing his best to his best ability and getting a home run, but coming down to the last batter here potentially for the Lopes. We'll see what White can do.
The 0-1 pitch to Ty Wyatt. Breaking pitch, just got a piece of it. Now the Lopes down to their final strike. Wyatt has a sac fly, a couple of singles and a walk. Josh Meyer on deck. A little bit uncharacteristic slugfest on a Friday. The 0-2. Just got a piece of it. A kind of an excuse me swing to stay alive. This game, 3 hours and 40 minutes in. Lopes trying to extend it. The 0-2. Fouled off again. Wyatt having a good at-bat. Ty's been hitting the ball well in conference play, seeing the ball well. Has been tonight. In the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch to Ty. Pops it up, left side. Foul territory, Lively. Makes the grab as the ball is pushed back toward the infield. And that's the final out, 9-8. Ball game goes to Seattle. Seattle gets 9 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors, and 10 left on. 8 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors, and 8 left on for GCU. And the Lopes dropped their first game at home in WAC play this season. They go to 22-22, 16-3 in conference play. Seattle improves to 16-26-1, 6-10 in conference play. And Aaron, one of those games the Lopes just found themselves playing catch-up the whole way and just could never get quite over that hump. They tied it a couple times, but Seattle, to their credit, continued to put on that pressure.
Yeah, they definitely had opportunities to get back in the game. And even though Wong didn't exactly get the start that we wanted or hoped for in the beginning, there were definitely chances for the Lopes to play good baseball. And in the 7th inning and in the 8th inning and even in the 9th inning there, they teased us a little bit but couldn't quite complete the plays that they needed in order to tie or potentially win this game.
Well, that'll do it for us here. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll have the same two teams tomorrow night at 7 p.m. That'll be on CW6, GCU TV, and ESPN3. Barry Butel, Shea Hillebrand with the call. Kate Longworth will be along as well. And don't miss that game tomorrow night. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow night, and then I'll be back with the series finale on Sunday at noon. Thanks to Gina, Jacob, Connor, Amber, Krista, and Swade, and, of course, Aaron and Gina here up in the booth with me. I'm Michael Potter. Don't forget to follow Grand Canyon University on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GCU. Have a great night. We will see you tomorrow night. Go Lopes.